Hey guys, hi. You are welcome to today's conversation. You're welcome to today's live stream. Let me just look around and see who and who is joining us today. Oof. Wow. Okay, so first of all, I want to apologize for starting late. If you are based in Lagos, I'm sure you can see right now that it's been a crazy rainy day, and I had to quickly go out to run some errands. And before I would even come out of where I went to run my errands, it was raining heavily, like raining cats and dogs. And guys, I'm going to confess, since I started driving, this is the first time ever in my life that I'm going to drive while it's raining. So I was really scared. I was really panicking that, oh my God, am I sure I want to do this? And my car is really low. Yeah, this kind of fancy low kind of car. So, guys, I was just scared. My own was, hey, what if this car stops inside water? Because we all know how the island of Lagos roads are. It gets easily flooded. So I was just scared. Like, will I be able to see? Will I be able to find my way? So, to cut a long story short, I tried to wait it out for the rain to stop, and I waited for over an hour. Actually, waited for over an hour, and by the time I got back into this space to set up for my live stream, it was already this late. So, my sincere apologies to every single one of you. And thank you so much for understanding and still making our time to join this live stream, regardless of your busy schedules. Thank you all so much. I can see you amazing folks in the comment section sending in your hellos, and I am loving it. I can see Mazi Chris. Hi. Says hi, frankly. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Chineye Kanu Oji. Hi. How are you? Let me mention your full name. Hi, Fashion Angel Warrior. Wow, that's a powerful one right there. Thanks for joining. There's TD Malo. Okay. Hi. And there's Ellen. Hi, Ellen. Oh, Ellen said it's extremely cold here and raining. Seeing you without a jacket. Yeah, it's actually raining, but the temperature of my room, it's not really freezing at all. As a matter of fact, I think I'm a cold-blooded human. I actually like being in cold places, so I'm kind of enjoying the coolness of the weather. But without much further ado, as you all can see on the thumbnail and the title of today's live stream, it's all about the episode 7 of the Real Housewives of Lagos. Yes, so I put out my own analysis, my review of that episode yesterday, and I saw a lot of comments, people not being happy. Oh, Mazi Chris, thank you so much. That's a nice compliment. Hi, Fifi. And Deborah. Hi, Deborah. Okay, so I saw a lot of comments, I saw a lot of reactions, and a certain reaction from one particular person that I really love on my channel. It seems as though that person did not really like or wasn't so pleased with my analysis of the show from day one. I'm wondering, like, really? Anyways, that's conversation for much later. But the actual reason I wanted to focus this live stream on that particular episode is because of a lot of things I did not talk about on my analysis yesterday. The video I put out, I didn't talk about a lot of things, and that was because I did not want the video to be overly lengthy. It could get really hectic for people to want to watch like an entire 40 minutes video or 1 hour video. I mean, the show is how many minutes again? I think about 55 minutes. So imagine me doing my analysis for 1 hour. You get bored. So I decided to just leave out some things for today. And Deborah said, oh, I agree. I love how you pronounce my name. Some people never pronounce it well. Oh. I know, I can imagine them pronouncing your name as Deborah, but don't mind them. Yeah, growing up, I had a childhood friend called Deborah, and I loved her so much. But I don't know where she is right now. So, Deborah, wherever you are, I'm giving you a shout out. Anyways, so let's move into it. I also understand that a lot of you on this live stream, you probably have your own thoughts you want to share with me, about that yesterday's episode. So don't worry, I'm just going to go ahead and analyze because I jotted down a few points and I don't want to misyan or forget them. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Then I will share the link as usual, so that you can join and also um, and also and also join. God, your comments are making me laugh. Anyways, so the first things first, yeah. If you check the title of this video, I asked a question on the thumbnail. Real Housewives of Lagos, is it another BBNaija kind of beef? And the reason I asked that question is because now this is no direct or indirect attack on Laura, but I'm sorry, it's probably because I have been analyzing Big Brother Nigeria for a while now, for a number of years now. So I'm seeing a pattern here. I don't know if I'm the only one seeing the pattern. And for those of you who are also lovers of Big Brother Nigeria, I don't know if you can also agree with me that from episode one of the Real Housewives of Lagos, right, there's a pattern to how Laura has been behaving. There's a pattern also to how Tony has been behaving. Yeah. And I could also say that there's a pattern to how Chioma has been behaving, but I think the most glaring one is the pattern that Laura has been displaying from episode one. And I'm going to talk about it in details. But overall, I want to state that that is the vibe that I am getting. A lot of people that have also been following different franchise of the Real Housewives from different parts of the world, they will say that, oh no, Glory, it's that is how Real Housewives shows are. You know, when you're watching Real Housewives series, that is how it is. There's always a pattern to how the housewives behave. Well, I know because I also follow the Real Housewives series from different countries. I watch the Real Housewives of, is it Potomac? I watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That one is my fave. The madness is endless. I love, love, love that one. Which one again? I've seen the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I watch all those things a lot. Yes, but you see, this will be this Real Housewives of Lagos. To be very frank with you guys, I'm sorry, but I'm seeing the pattern so strong, especially in Laura's character. And that's why, if you all notice, for every time I want to do a review, I always ask a question like, is this thing scripted or not? Is this how Laura is in real life or not? And the reason I constantly ask that question is there are so many, let me say, shocking behavioral patterns that she displays for every episode. And it's shocking to me because if you were a young person displaying such, I would say, and they just want the fame, they just want to gather clout and all of that. But you know, she's married and she has kids, and according to her, she values family a lot. And so when I see her behaving like that, thoughts like that comes to my mind, and I'm asking myself, I thought this girl is supposed to be the one that values family the most. You know, if she's behaving this way, I think she should be more concerned as to how it's going to create a backlash on her family. You know, there's this saying that goes that, oh, the way a married person presents themselves outside, okay, not just even a married person, but the way an individual presents themselves outside, it's going to definitely be a reflection of where they are coming from, right? And it's very typical in this Nigerian society. Somebody wants to insult me now. They will say, oh, I don't blame your mother. She did not train you well. Or they will say, oh, you don't have proper home training. Or if it's a married woman, it's a popular thing that people will say over here that, oh, I wonder how you behave with your husband at home. Oh, I wonder if this is how you treat your family at home, you know, that kind of thing. And so that's why I constantly ask that, is this show scripted at all? I understand, or again, that it's a reality TV show, right? So part of it is going to be realistic, and part of it is probably going to be scripted, and probably not really scripted. It's also a probability that they put all the women, you know, okay, let me put a definitive definition before I blab. I understand that with reality TV shows, the producers of such shows, they create the location, they create the opportunity, they probably also to some extent create the event. So it's like creating an opportunity for people to go mad. It's like creating an opportunity for people to go crazy, to just show their good or their bad sides, right? And all of that is evident in the way each episode is edited, if you know what I mean. And I noticed that yesterday when Mariam was speaking with the ladies during dinner at her house, when they were all complaining about Chioma and Caroline being late. And Mariam made a statement. She said, "Oh, Laura was the first person that arrived at her house. That Mariam had been at her house since morning." And I'm like, okay, this is quite confusing. It was confusing for me because if you go back and watch that episode, what you will see is that Iyabo Ojo and Tony, they had arrived Mariam's house first, and they had sat down, gisting and catching up and waiting for even Mariam the host to even acknowledge their presence in her house. But it took a while. And so whilst they were waiting, Laura had also come in. So I saw that part, I saw that scene, and I was wondering, okay, so what the hell is going on? Because Mariam placed so much emphasis on when she was explaining that to the rest of the ladies. And I was wondering, like, okay, so what did we see? Could it be that there was a mistake in what Mariam said, or could it be that that was actually the case? And then during the editing process, Showmax had actually placed Laura as the third person that came in. If you got that part, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know if I'm not the only one that saw that part. But that's just part of an example of what I'm saying, about reality TV shows. A situation is created, an opportunity is created, and then these participants, they are put in there, and then they do whatever they want to do. And then us, the viewers, we only get to see what the organizers of the show want us to see. Yes. And I kind of agree with some of you that have been very busy in my comment section saying that I don't like Laura. Yeah, I agree with it in the aspect of, or in the context of, the show is probably trying to villainize Laura, trying to make Laura the villain. But I'm sorry, you cannot also tell me that during Laura's confessional, she's not the one saying the things that she's saying. And you can also tell me that when she's with the ladies, her body language is actually being edited. You cannot edit body language, people. You cannot. Yeah. Body language happens sometimes spontaneously. Maybe you blink and you see somebody's face looking off in a certain kind of way. So you can't really edit body language, to be very honest. And Laura's body language yesterday, it was kind of the same with her body language in episode 1 when she was newly introduced to the rest of the ladies at Tiannah's baby's product launch. So, I've given like a general overview of what I want to say, that overall, I just perceive that the pattern of Laura's, should I say, rebellion in that group, it's giving me some BBNaija rebellious type of vibe. This kind of vibe that we are seeing Laura displaying against Chioma and Caroline, and the instigating activities of Tony is the type of thing that we know too well happens on a show like Big Brother Naija. I'm telling you guys, for real, no caps. If you don't watch BBNaija, trust me, you won't really understand what I'm saying. But I've seen this kind of pattern too many times, and I don't know. I'm having some weird type of feeling about it, and I'm also asking myself a question that for how long will Laura be able to put up with this act, if really it's an act? And also, there was a statement that Iyabo made yesterday that she's an actor. So she knows when somebody is putting up a show, all for attention. She knows when somebody is actually acting up. And that is exactly what Laura was doing yesterday. Laura is very much aware that whatever she does, just like in BBNaija, where the camera picks up every single thing that a housemate does, Laura is very much aware that that's the exact same thing with the Real Housewives of Lagos. And she's very much aware that for every Real Housewives franchise, there needs to be a villain, there needs to be the voice of reasoning, there needs to be that one person that people see as the victim, and there needs to be that one person that people see as, the gossip friend. Okay, take for instance on BBNaija, there's the villain, there's the underdog, there's the one person that is the voice of reasoning. So if you liken that to the Real Housewives of Lagos, now we know that Caroline sometimes tends to want to be the voice of reason. What's her name? Iyabo sometimes, or let's say 95% of the time, tends to be the voice of reason as well. I'm talking about based on their confessionals now. And who else? Okay, so Laura in this regard is being the villain. And for those of us that watch Big Brother Nigeria season by season, you will agree with me. There's a culture of elevating and celebrating the villain for every season of Big Brother Nigeria. Yeah, there's always that one person that does the craziest stuff. And you will see that automatically that person has a huge fan base. And what is the shouting mantra from that fan base? Oh, that person is the show. That person is the only person that is entertaining me. That person is the only person that is making me watch the show. We tend to hear that a lot. Yeah, we tend to hear that a lot. And I will give you an example. Okay, let's start from what is it called now? Uh, the double Wahala season of Big Brother Nigeria. Sisi had issues with Toby, and then Alex also decided to add petrol into the fire of the whole drama. Now in as much as Sisi had a reason, for being upset with Alex and Toby, there were a lot of things not worthy of mentioning that Sisi actually did and said. And one particular episode that I will not forget in a hurry was the final week when it was as if one knot went loose in Sisi's medulla oblongata and she let loose and was insulting Toby. Insulted Toby's generation, insulted Toby's unborn children, insulted Toby's father. Like the insult was so much, guys. I told myself that if any girl insulted my brother like this, if I catch you, I will beat that demon out of your body. Honestly, guys, like wherever I was that day, I said, no, there's no justification for such level of toxicity. I felt so sorry for Toby, even if to some extent Toby had his own, whatever. Yeah, I was really livid. But guess what? That season of the show ended, and Sissy came out as the most celebrated housemate of that season. She had this very, very, is it unformidable or informidable fan base called Spartans. It was wild. And I was wondering, like, wow. And guess what people were saying? Oh, she was the show. She put all the house over. Okay, fine. So during the Pepper Them Gang season, we had the likes of Mercy Eke, we had the likes of Tacha, right? Yes, Thatcher had her reasons for doing all she did, and for some of the reasons that she did, I supported some of her reasons because, of course, she triggered some of the housemates by her confidence, and they also triggered her and bullied her in return. What's her name? Mercy also did what she did, played Ike. She at some point became very, very toxic when doing some of the tasks. Her group was not winning, right? She became extremely toxic and bitter. And Ebuka addressed her about it, just as he also addressed Tacha. But guess what? After the fight, both ladies came out, and once again, the same circle repeated itself. Both of them, they had the biggest fan base, even bigger than Cece's fan base. In fact, Tacha, till today, still has Titans trending her name, which is quite interesting because you tend to wonder how do they sustain such level of loyalty, right? Now guys, stay with me. I'm just trying to show you the pattern here. And then during the lockdown season, what happened? Erica and Lakon, right? Lucy tried to be that overly dramatic housemate, but people did not really give her that opportunity, and so she was evicted on time. But then we had Erica. Yes, Erica had her own love story going on for her, but then that particular night that she got drunk and then she insulted Lakon. It was like we're seeing a repetition of what Cece had done because Cece had insulted Toby, I think, for over 3 hours or 4 hours or even 5 hours because it lasted for the most part of the day. And then for Erica, it was as if Erica had an ambition to top what Cece had done. And so Erica insulted Lakon for, I think, about 5 hours or even more than 5 hours. Because I remember that happened exactly 12 a.m. midnight, and it lasted until 5 a.m. Because I was awake. I was traumatized. Not even in Kosovo, but I was traumatized because I was like, God, that the girl that will insult any of my brothers, that girl will be very unfortunate because me, I will not tolerate that bullshit. But anyways, it was like I saw a replay, of all of that. But guess what? Erica got out of the house, and just as Lakon, the good guy, had a huge fan base, Erica also had a huge fan base, which by now I don't know if they're even existent anymore. I think they ceased to be existing when the next season, that's the Shine Your Eye season of BBNaija just started. But anyways, she had a huge fan base, and what were people's excuses for standing her so hard? They said, "Oh, she was triggered by Lakon." I'm like, so Lakon was the one inside the alcohol now, yeah? But that was that. And then during the Shine Your Eye season, who was the very, very toxic person? Okay, not really toxic, but very, very dramatic person. There was Pere at some point that changed later, and then there was Angel. Guess what? Show can't end though. They can't do their own. They can't get very, very strong fan base. And now looking at all of the patterns, I don't want to even waste your time going into talking about all the details of what those housemates that I've actually mentioned actually did to deserve their fan base, or for their fan base to deserve them. Yes. But look at Laura. Look at what Laura is doing now, guys. I'm sure that you are all aware that Laura has a fan base now. Maybe not a massive fan base, but Laura now has a fan base. Yes. And why does she have a fan base? Go through my comment section on my Real Housewives of Lagos videos. You will see the reason why Laura has a fan base. Oh, Laura is the show. Laura is carrying all the drama of the show on her poor shoulders. Laura is the only person entertaining us. The rest of the housewives, they are very boring. Why are they boring? Simply because they are not given the viewers the kind of toxicity that the viewers expect. So Laura is actually dishing out insecurities, pettiness, savagery, all of the drama in all of its richness and all of its glory. Not my glory now, but that kind of glory. And they're enjoying it because for them, oh, it's a show. She has to give the drama. And to be very honest, sometimes I get really entertained because I'm watching each episode of Real Housewives of Lagos, and it's like I'm having goosebumps. It's like all the air on my skin is standing erect. I'm enjoying the drama. But then I'm actually bothered for Laura. I think that's the point. I'm actually bothered for Laura because I don't know, with every kind of fame always comes with a backlash. With every type of fame comes with a backlash. I mean, when we sit down to analyze whatever Laura is doing, we never cease to talk about the fact that she's insecure. We never cease to mention that, oh, this lady, the only explanation for why she's behaving the way she's behaving is that she has inferiority complex, that she's ghetto, that she's very, very local, unrefined, crude, uncooked, lacks courtesy. I mean, we use such type of words to describe Laura when we want to talk about the show. So when I'm doing my analysis, I am thinking, is she really happy and excited that people see her as such? And there's also the other part of, there are some people that take their offense from their TV screens, from their gadgets, right down to real life. So there are those people that, okay, take for instance, CC. That season of Big Brother Nigeria happened in South Africa. So because of all of that craziness that CC displayed on that very, very day towards Toby, the moment CC landed the Nigerian airport, the MMI International Airport, guess what? Somebody gave her a dirty slap, or was it a punch? She was trying to enter the car that they had brought to pick her up, and somebody hit her. Somebody hit her. Yeah, and she received a lot of threats. So what I'm saying is there are people that turn from fans to fanatics, and they pick offense when they feel like your attitude on a reality TV show was too much, was very, very excessive. And to be very honest, sometimes you can't really blame them by saying that, oh, they watched the show with too much emotion. Because at the end of the day, that's what shows like this tend to want to get from you. They want you to be emotionally invested in the show. If you are not emotionally invested in a show like The Real Housewives of Lagos, trust me, you won't even spare any of your time to watch it. Right? So one of the disadvantages of people becoming emotionally invested in watching reality TV shows is that it tends to start playing mind games with you. You tend to start sometimes over analyzing, and then sometimes you want to take justice into your own hands and met out some level of punishment to that one person that has presented themselves as the villain on such a show. Yeah. So in all of this baby grammar I'm speaking, I'm trying to say that please, I do not hate Laura. I analyze the show based on what I see, what the housewives give, that is based on what I analyze. And that brings me to analyzing some of the key things that also happened that I did not mention during my analysis on yesterday's video. So we're going to start with the start of yesterday's episode. That's episode 7. So episode 7 started in TM Toyin's studio. One second, guys, I need to drink water. Okay, so episode 7 started in Toyin's studio. What was she doing? She was creating designs, and she also had like a pre-birthday photo shoot with Iyabo's daughter, Priscilla. Priscilla looks beautiful, by the way. She's beautiful. So they were having a photo shoot, and okay, before the photo shoot, Tiannah, I don't know, okay, it was Iyabo that actually called on video call. I don't know if it was Iyabo that called or Toyin that called, I can't remember, but there was a call anyways, and it was Iyabo on the call. So it was a video call, and Iyabo was basically hyping her daughter. She was happy with Toyin's work. And whilst we were having that conversation, guys, Toyin decided to deviate, and I'm not going to say that this is a fact of what's happening. I'm talking about based on what I saw, what we were shown. Remember, the show is edited, okay? So there must have been other conversations that both of them had had, before we saw the part that we saw. But the part that I was interested in was Iyabo had just called. Oh, after all the greetings and ceremonials and all of that, the next question we heard from Toyin was, what do you think about Laura's fashion show, by the ways? And guys, I'm sorry to say this, but if you are a typical Nigerian, you will know that there's something called undertone when people talk, because the Nigerian English language is kind of different from the English language that the world recognizes. So, take for instance, if in Nigerian English language now I say, I better get out, Jerry, you know that it's a joke. But if I scream it out loud with all of my muscles pumping out from my head, get out! You know that, okay, this girl is actually really angry. So what I'm trying to say is the way that Toyin asked Iyabo that question, she asked it in a kind of gossip tone, like, oh, I'm expecting Iyabo to say something nasty about Laura's fashion collection, about Laura's overall outlook of a fashion show. That was the way that question sounded. And I'm sure it did not sound just that way in my ears only. A lot of people actually attested to that as well online. So she was probably expecting Iyabo to say, what kind of show was that? Kind of water down Laura's efforts and all of that. But Iyabo decided to be Switzerland, decided to be neutral by saying, oh, I enjoyed it, blah, blah, blah. And Toyin made a second attempt. She tried to, with another question, like, but when she saw that Iyabo was not really indulging her with the kind of information, the kind of gossip that she wanted, she also now flowed through and said, my favorite part was when you and your daughter walked down the line, which I picked offense with, and I'll tell you why, but let me finish. So she was like, oh, I enjoyed that your part, that, and guys, if you cast your mind back to episode 6, when Iyabo and her daughter had done the mommy-daughter walk on the runway, Toyin had been a bit kind of petty and savage during her confessional that, oh, Iyabo, you don't want to grow old. Look at you going to go and wear your daughter's clothes, that kind of thing. And I felt like, nah, this lady is your friend. You don't say things like that, even though you think it's a joke. It's not really a joke. It's actually derogatory. You're making fun of her age. Because in my opinion, Iyabo is aging with grace. So what is it? So she now made mention of that. So in my eyes, guys, I'm sorry to say, but this is what it looked like. It looked like, oh, I said something nasty about my supposed friend during my confessionals. So let not look as if I gossiped about my friend. Let me repeat what I said in front of her, to clear the air, so that probably when we're having our reunion and that part is replayed to her, she will know that, oh, it was just a joke. That was what I saw. And guys, it cracked me up. I said, okay, small, we are knowing those who are actually cowardly on this show, But then what I was expecting her to say was that maybe make some nice comments about Laura's designs as per what you were invited for. Make some nice comments, but instead, maybe she doesn't want to say the things that were in her mind. She likes to make the other remark about Iyabo and the daughter walking the runway and all that. So that was the first thing I saw, and somehow it just went to confirm for the 100th time that Iyabo is actually the number one instigator of this group on this show. She's the number one instigator. Because why would you even bring up that kind of question? If you want to say something, just go ahead and say that, oh, by the way, I kind of admired Laura's efforts, with her designs for something she's doing for the first time. I'm going to have to give her some tips, that kind of thing, something positive. But then you ask that kind of question, waiting for a clapback, waiting for a reaction. Seriously. And Laura is your friend. So that was that one. And then the second scene that really went to confirm that, okay, indeed, Toyin is truly the instigator of the show was at Mariam's house during the dinner when they were all waiting. If you all cast your mind, she was the first person that started shifting body, that started getting restless, that, oh, Chioma and Caroline, they've not arrived. And she was the one that was first to start venting her annoyance. And thankfully, Iyabo was smart enough and mature enough to switch the conversation into maturity and money. You know how maturity tends to influence you having more emotional, sorry, is it age? I think age, when you age, how your age tends to influence your level of emotional maturity over money. Toyin was arguing that, oh, when you become wealthier, yeah, that when you become wealthier, okay, that when you become wealthier, it tends to affect or influence how you react, things like that. So I like the way that Iyabo was very quick to just flip the conversation so that it will not bring about that toxicity that was brewing already. And to be very honest with you guys, I think, in my opinion, I'm sure you all have your own opinion, and please, you do well to share it, right? Now, I feel like it was because Tony was already complaining, right? I feel like that was also what triggered Laura to start overreacting. I'll tell you why. So she was doing that, and it was going to turn into some other kind of conversation. But as I said, Yabo flipped the conversation. And then later, it's like a virus that just passed from her to Laura. Laura caught the fever and she started overdoing. Now, it was when Laura caught the fever of wanting to start some drama that Toyin now decided to calm down. So when the ladies now arrived, the same Toyin that was the first person to start complaining was quiet. She wasn't complaining anymore. In fact, the person that was not complaining, Iyabo, was the only person that had the balls to address Chioma and Caroline. And honestly, guys, my respect for Iyabo, it went from 100 to maybe 100 over 10 or something like that. 110. Yeah. Because for me, if you have something in your mind, just say it. Which one is you keep quiet in front of me, then later you're not going to be talking. So what I'm trying to say is that I feel like on those two occasions, Iyabo Toyin instigated something. She was going to start something. And then when the thing was going to start, she backed down and left the fire to catch the other person that had that much energy to run crazy with it. And that was exactly what Laura did. And then that also brings to me, or that also brings about the question of who got there first. Because according to the editing of the show, what we saw was that Laura arrived third. But whilst we were having their conversation about who came early, Mariam said that Laura had been at her house since morning. And so that could also be the reason, if it is true that Laura was the first person that arrived at the house, it could also be the reason or give better explanation as to why Laura was overly pissed. But then we're not sure. So moving on, another person that I perceived to be another interesting instigator, interesting character is Mariam. So the question that came to my mind was the phone call that Mariam made to Chioma after the dinner. What exactly was the reason for that phone call? And I'm asking this question because On a normal day, if Mariam had any form of gossip, she's gonna call Toyin first, because from all what Mariam said when Toyin arrived at the house, oh, Toyin and my mom, they have a closer relationship than me and Toyin. What does that mean? It means that Toyin and Mariam, they are like friends turned sisters. They are business colleagues. They are very, very close, almost like family. Yeah. So why did she call Chioma instead of calling Toyin, knowing fully well that Chioma and Laura, they do not see eye to eye? So someone is saying Chioma made the call to Mariam. Really? I'm gonna have to replay that scene to see. I'm gonna have to replay that scene. But then, however it is, whether Mariam called Chioma or whether Chioma called Mariam, why did she have to discuss that? Why did she have to discuss Laura with Chioma? Okay, so someone is asking about the channel. So it's not shown on normal TV, like TV stations. It's on Showmax, all right? It's on Showmax. Just go on Showmax and you search for Real Housewives of Lagos, all right? All right, thank you, Deborah. Deborah said Chioma called Mariam to thank her for dinner. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now I recall. Now I recall, yeah. Now I recall. But I just felt like giving that much information about Laura to Chioma, knowing fully well that these two people, they're always at loggerheads. For me, I just felt like that was you trying to instigate something. On a normal day, in my opinion, if I were to have issues with, say, I was in Mariam's shoes, for instance, I will not disclose, I will not vent, I will not rant to someone like Choma. And the reason for that is Choma is not my bestie. Choma is not my best friend. She's not my friend turned sister. Yeah, I would rather vent like that. The way Mariam vented about Laura to Choma, if I were Mariam, I would rather do that with Toyin, you know. But then I don't know. I still don't really understand, and I'm hoping that we get to find out in the next episode. Okay, but in that instance, I felt like, okay, what is Mariam playing at? Is it could it be that Mariam is trying to play into the good books of Chioma? Because another thing we also saw in that episode is fine, Chioma did well by first of all calling Iyabo's phone to speak with Mariam. She probably does not have Mariam's number, which I don't understand why she didn't call Mariam directly. But then she put a call through anyways, and she apologized, informed them she was going to be running late, yes, and then she came bearing gifts to apologize more, right? So that kind of simmered down Mariam's upset over Choma and Caroline coming late. But to be very frank with you all guys, with the kind of energy that Mariam came into the group with, based off of the things that Toyin once again had actually told her to bear in mind about the ladies, I was expecting her to be a bit upset, you know, but automatically we saw an entirely different Mariam, the Mariam that does not have anything to say, the Mariam that was telling us that she has a thing for roses, and so because Choma came bearing roses, she cannot be as upset as she wants to be upset. Anyways, anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. We're going to find out more about this. Now let's talk about Chioma. My darling Chioma. This is the same Chioma that people want to use to break my head, because people think that, oh, Glory is being biased. Whenever she's analyzing the show, she doesn't want to talk a lot about Chioma. And I was wondering, like, do people really watch my videos properly? I mean, I analyze the show based off of what I see, right? So if Chioma is not roving mad or roving crazy, should I come and say that, oh, Chioma is actually roving crazy? But in yesterday's episode, Chioma's attitude, her lateness, guys, it was very, very offensive to me. It was very annoying. And I talked about it, and I'm going to talk about it again. This time around, I'm going to talk about her apology. Apology for me. Although that apology, in front of the ladies, she was remorseful. And I say she was remorseful because if you've been watching the show from episode 1, the way Chioma gave the apology, that is how Chioma speaks. During her confessionals, that is how Chioma speaks, right? Chioma does not speak like a typical Nigerian. The beauty about the typical Nigerian accent when we are speaking the English language is that you hear certain emotions in our intonation, right? So when I'm speaking, sometimes you think that okay, she's sounding very remorseful, but in my mind, I might not be sounding remorseful at all. All right. So accent comes with certain levels of emotions. And when Choma speaks, sometimes it's like you cannot really hear any form of emotions. To be very honest, sometimes when she speaks, I feel like she's just high and dry. So in front of the ladies, she obviously gave a heartfelt apology, but during her confessionals, she felt like she was almost not apologetic at all. Yes. And I felt like, no, if the ladies are complaining about you being late, it's because they've been waiting for you for 5 hours. So they have every right to go on about it. And then you speak again and apologize. But then I just felt like, okay, it made her come off as rude. It made her come off as disrespectful. Yes, but the question is, did she give that kind of disrespect to the ladies in front of them? She did not. And for me, I felt like she actually did the right thing by calling and then bringing a gift. I mean, that's the proper thing to do. If you are trying to honor someone's invitation to dinner and you know that you're coming late, at least come bearing gifts, you know. So I just did not really understand why people were saying that, oh, Guri, you did not talk about what Choma did. And I'm wondering, like, but I did. But I did. Did you people want me to be raving the way I rave about the things Laura do? It's not the same degree of drama. It's not the same degree of madness. It's not the same degree of toxicity. Yeah, it's not. But anyways, another thing again, I also noticed was when Mariam was complaining about Laura to Chioma, I was kind of disappointed in Chioma. I was disappointed that Chioma indulged Mariam. You see, there's something you should understand about women's relationship, and it also happens in real life. If another lady is friends with someone that is always constantly beefing me, and that person calls me for any reason to give me gist or gossip about the person that is beefing me, I will just look for an excuse and say, oh, sorry, can I call you back? I'm in the middle of something right now. Do you understand? I'll just stylishly end the call. And the reason why I'm ending the call is that anything I say can be used against me when they come together to have their conversation. And I will not be there when they are going to start dissecting the things that I say. So I will not be there to defend myself. So the next time we all cross paths, I'm going to turn out to be the villain. So I was really disappointed in Choma because I felt like Choma, come on, you already know that there's a friendship going on between Tony, Mariam, and Laura. So even if Mariam had made an attempt at becoming good friends, with you, by coming to talk to you about supporting Laura, you shouldn't have indulged her rantings. Or probably maybe listen, right? Just as courtesy, like, okay, well, because I attended your dinner, well, let me just listen to you complain about the crazy things that Laura did. But then the fact that she also joined Mariam in saying some nasty things about Laura, I was really disappointed because, to be honest, I actually expected Shoma to continue being classy up until that level. So for me, it was as if all the classiness that she had built over time, at that point where she was engaging Mariam in her venting and her ranting about Laura, I felt like all that class that she had built up from episode 1, in my eyes, I felt like it just dropped. Not all the way down, no, because she's still a darling, but I felt like it just dropped. And guys, this is the thing I would advise anybody anytime, any day. If you are always at loggerheads with someone and someone brings gist about that person to you, zip it. Don't even say fame, because if you say them, in fact, even your presence there where they are running the gossip, they will implicate you. So I just felt like Chuma kind of implicated herself. Yes. I mean, if she's having conversations with Caroline, it's kind of understandable because Laura gives the same kind of energy to some extent that she gives to Choma to also Caroline. So it's understandable if Chioma and Caroline have that kind of conversation about Laura because both of them can relate because they are both kind of dealing with the same kind of energy from Laura. But the fact that she was indulging and engaging Mariam, nah, Choma for my hand. Okay, now moving on to Laura. I've actually talked a lot about Laura on yesterday's video. I've also talked about Laura on this same video at the start of this conversation. But one key question I want to ask is, why is Laura wasting so much energy on the Real Housewives of Lagos? For me, I feel like this kind of drama that she's bringing to the Real Housewives of Lagos, she could better put it to good use. As a matter of fact, to fantastic use on BBNaija. And trust me, if a character like Laura's going to Big Brother Nigeria, do you know what's going to happen? She's going to come out and become the next Tacha, Sisi, Erica, who else? Mercy, who else? Maybe Angel. She's going to come out and have like a massive fan base. Trust me. Because there are people that like the kind of drama that she dishes, and in those people's eyes, as far as I have seen in my comment section, they see Laura as the victim. They don't see Laura as the villain that she presents herself to be. Yeah, they don't see her. In fact, they see her as the victim. They see her as the only person that understood the assignment to come and bring drama to the show. And I'm laughing. I'm thinking that, listen, drama does not always have to be violent. Drama could also be mental games, psychological games, playing on people's emotions. That could also be drama, rich drama, right? It doesn't always have to be violent. It doesn't always have to be you're mad, you're this, crazy insults like that, like that. That is so ghetto for the impression that the show is trying to create. The Real Housewives of Lagos. What does the show stand for? What image? What do the organizers want you to picture in your mind when you think about the Real Housewives of Lagos? They want you to think of class, luxury, glamour, money, wealth, connection, network. They want you to see the glorious life of the rich Real Housewives of Lagos. And so far so good. Don't get me wrong, the ladies are actually giving all of that, but I don't know. Laura, God help her. God help her. God help her. But another thing I also noticed about Laura yesterday, I made that statement in my video yesterday that Laura from time to time has displayed some very terrible is it what's this word I'm looking for now? She has displayed cowardice a lot on the show. She has displayed cowardice a lot. During her confessionals, she will roar like a roaring lion. She will bring down thunder and brimstone. In front of the ladies, she no go fit talk. And that was exactly what she did yesterday. You had the opportunity to speak like a normal human being. Speak. Iyabo Ojo was obviously offended. She was obviously offended by Chioma and Caroline's lateness, and she addressed it right there and then. And I talked about it. Same thing for Tony. Tony could not really talk. After all the, if somebody does something repeatedly, I'll be very, very offended. If it was before, I will go outside your house and wait for you and treat your effort. But they were there. Auntie Tony, why didn't you talk? Laura, the same thing. Why didn't you talk? Somebody was commenting that, oh, maybe she was trying not to create drama in Mariam's house. I don't understand. Is Laura a lion? Because I know that most of the time when a lion opens their mouth, it's a roar that comes out. So how difficult could it have been for Laura to open her mouth and address Chioma and Caroline and even say that, okay, I've been here since morning and I don't think it's fair that you guys kept all of us waiting. We all have, or some of us have kids and a husband to cater to at home, and it's late. And aside that, the health hazard of eating late, how are you going to digest such a meal? I mean, how difficult could that have been? Even, and funny thing, people say that, oh, because there's been past beef between them. But remember, they've been trying to sort out their beef. During their trip to Abuja, they've actually had conversations. They've sorted it out. Chioma had gone to Laura and they said, oh, we are good, we are good. We are still, Laura said, oh, we are still not friends, but they're, oh, we are good, we are good. So why couldn't Laura use her words vocally at the dinner table peacefully? But no, there has to be drama created, right? And so she decided to take to their WhatsApp group and then drop those crazy wild chats, guys. It was just crazy. It was just crazy. And you see, there's another thing I also noticed. It's like, you see that thing we talk about, the insecurities that she displays, guys. To be very frank with you, it's no jokes. It's very, very evident. It's no jokes at all. The insecurities, it's crazy. I mean, what even brought about the conversation of, oh, Chioma does not impress me with whatever she wears. Is Chioma dressing up for you? Come on, Laura. That is so, so insecure. Insecure to the lowest level. Is Chioma dressing up for you? And is Chioma the only person that dresses up? Toyin also dresses up. And that brings us to the other thing I noticed about Laura. I said that she displayed a very, very awkward act of cowardice. Yes. And it also showed that to some extent, it seems like she's afraid of Mariam and Toyin. Yeah, it seems like she's afraid of offending Mariam and Toyin. And I'll tell you that the reason I said so is because yesterday she was obviously irritated by Toyin. Why? Because Toyin was the one that had shown that she was obviously upset that Chioma and Caroline had not arrived at Mariam's dinner, and she has started the beef. So Laura was probably expecting that, okay, when they come, Toyin is going to lash out at them, but then Toyin did not lash out at them. So it was very obvious that she was upset. So why did she? Okay, fine. She actually said to Toyin, Toyin, you are doing too much. So when Toyin looked, why didn't she explain? Oh, Toyin, I thought you were upset earlier. Why did you say anything now that they are here? My friend, Shebi, you say you get liver. Open your mouth and say it. Now waited after everybody had gone home, the food don't digest. People don't sleep, wake up from sleep. The next morning, you are now dumping all your vents and rants on the WhatsApp chat. I know the annoying part. When they now meet in that the annoying group, she will now be quiet and she'll be smiling sheepishly. God. Somebody was asking yesterday, why is Laura on the show? My dear, Laura is on the show to bring the drama. Even though it comes with toxicity, even though it comes with a lot of madness, she's there to bring the drama. Alright? Um, let's talk about Laura's restlessness, her boredom, her body language, her facial expressions. That was rude. Never ever should anybody invite you to their home for dinner and then you go and display all of that uncouthness. That is rude. That is very, very unrefined and extremely disrespectful. Whoever invited you to their home for dinner, they put in a lot of time and effort and resources to prepare all that you are going to go and experience at their place. So respect that. Don't don't take it for granted. For me, I felt like that was rude. If you try that in my house, I'll just say, "Oh, I'll ask you outrightly. Do you feel like going home? You know how all these British people do it. They ask you very, very nasty questions and then they put politeness, a sprinkle of salt to it. Oh, do you really want to go home? Are you tired of being here? I'll ask you, do you want to leave? Please leave. The door is open." I felt like that was very disrespectful of her doing all of that in Mariam's home. If she was really bored, as she said, get up and leave. You're an adult. Nobody is tying your hands and your legs to remain on that table. But you stayed there and you were doing all of that. Not with Gloria Elijah. Not with Gloria Elijah. But that's why I still will always ask, is this show scripted? Because there are certain things that I'm seeing happening, and I'm like, nah, this cannot happen with me in real life. I will not condone it. It's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. I mean, I don't think. Let me drop that matter. Okay, so the next question is the Showmax edit. Yeah, based off of some of the things that I was seeing or have been seeing since episode one. The question is, just like with every other reality TV show, is Showmax actually really manipulating the edits of the show to create a certain kind of narrative and to also create some certain kind of characters and personalities for these ladies? Because Tony accused Showmax last week of manipulating the editing of the show, that there are a lot of things that they normally say, during their confessionals and when they are shooting, when they're on set. Apparently, it's from Tony that we got to know, and from their WhatsApp chats that we got to know that everything we see is a set, right? Although some of those things are actually realistic, because I've been to some of the places that they have been to on the show. So yeah, a set is always a set. A set does not have to be mechanically constructed. It could be anywhere. So that's a question. Could it be that Showmax is actually manipulating the story? Are they trying to create a narrative? Are they trying to villainize Laura? Are they trying to paint Chioma as the no nonsense, refined, classy woman? For that one, I'm not going to say because I've followed her snap for a while now, for some years now, so I can say that some of the things that I see her doing on the show, right, just being all classy and whatnot, that's exactly how she is on socials. But then, is the show scripted? That's still the question. And then, last but not the least, for anybody that's going to be joining me to discuss the show virtually, the first question I would love you to answer that I'm asking right now is, what is the true definition of realness? Please, I'm curious because it seems as though, in the context of the Real Housewives of Lagos, the definition of realness is quite, I don't know, should I say it's twisted? Because I've seen a lot of people say that, oh, I love Toyin and what's her name, Laura, because they are real. But I don't love Chioma, Iyabo, and Caroline because they are fake. So please, I need somebody to actually explain to me what realness truly means. All right. That said, I think this is the part where I'm now going to start dropping the link to this conversation. And if you would like to join me on this platform virtually to talk, and mind you guys, you don't necessarily have to use your video, okay? Some of you, I've noticed you're not comfortable using your video, so you can use just your audio, okay? So I've gone ahead and I've shared the conversation. So just go ahead and click on it. I'll add you up to join, okay? So just click on that link and I'll add you up. Whilst we're waiting, let me just go ahead. Okay, so we have a Daisy here. Let me add a Daisy. Hola.
Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Yeah, it's good to be back here again. I was here last week.
Oh yes, Adeze. Good to have you back. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm fine. And how you doing?
I'm okay. Can guys, for those of you listening, can you hear Adeze clearly? Adeze, kindly increase the volume of your audio, okay?
Okay, I've done that. Is it better?
Hello?
Is it better?
Not really. Let me ask the viewers. Guys, can you hear Adeze clearly? If you can hear Adeze clearly, please let us know. If you can hear her loud and clear, please comment in the comment section. All right. But Adeze, fire on. Please continue.
Okay. I was okay after watching the last episode yesterday. I
Hello?
had to ask myself, can you hear me?
Hello, Adeze?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, so Adeze, I'm going to remove you and add you back. Okay? I'm going to remove you and add you back. So do me a favor, increase the volume of your audio. All right? Olanike, hi.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Good afternoon. So, okay, I'm a Real Housewife fan,
Fine.
like super fan. I
Okay,
watched
Olanike.
all. Yes.
Olanike, hold on a second. Let me log myself out and come back in. I don't know if the problem is from my gadget, but let me log out and come back in, okay? Okay,
Okay.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Cool.
Okay, can you hear me now?
This is
Okay, so
perfect
like I was
for
saying,
me. Yeah.
so I'm a Real Housewife fan, super fan from the onset, from when they started Real Housewives generally. So the show always has a format, right? There's always an instigator. There's always instigators who are
Yeah.
always backed up by producers, always backed up. Sometimes the producers gives them information, gives them things to work with to start
Hmm.
drama in the show. There's
Yeah.
always the sweetheart, the one that is a sweetheart. There's always the character that is the one that is the middle ground, the one that tries to be in the middle and
Yeah.
all that. So what Laura is doing, I'm not surprised. She's not even doing much as far as I'm concerned because she's even still mild, like in my opinion. Because what they do in other shows, you'll be shocked. Nobody has
Hmm.
flipped it here, like Teresa
No, I see.
dies.
I can see those.
Has done anything. Laura, to me, like like Tony said on her Twitter today, like yesterday, some people clothes are coming out now. Like I was shocked, like the ones that because my favorite initially was Chioma. I hyped her everywhere. Oh, Chioma, I love her. She's so all that and everything. And guess what? By episode 3, I wasn't looking at her like that anymore. I was beginning to see more like she's not all to me, in my opinion. I was feeling like there's more to this. Why are these people always irritated by her? It's not, there's just something I felt about her until yesterday. Until yesterday. And I was like, okay, I'm seeing this side of Chioma now. Like she gave me mean girl, she gave me arrogance, she gave me like the true colors are coming out, and that's thanks to Laura. She's instigating, she's doing drama, and then she's they're frustrated by her, and then their true colors are coming out. So to me, I feel
Can I
she's
ask you a
giving what
question? Yeah, can I ask you a question? So, and please, guys, this is not in defense of Choma, please. It's just an innocent question. So, what you are noticing now about Choma, do you think by chance it's because of what Laura has been doing? You know, the whole thing that Laura started with her, or do you think she's just naturally now bringing out that dismissive aura that she has?
it's Laura. Laura is irritating her. So
Okay.
it's bringing out like she's all put together. Like in the real show,
Yeah,
we can't all be, we need to see the real you. And you get angry, we get angry. Like you can't be all put together all the time. That's what the show is about. They want to, like, they've not even started anything yet. Like they'll
yeah,
go into the gutters, find information about you. That's what the show is all about.
yeah,
And you can't be all put together. One way or the other, you're going to crack, and that's what they want to see. So she's
yeah.
beginning to crack now. She's beginning to like all that. You saw the thing she said yesterday. I was like, oh, you can say that. So I'm like, that's what the perception I had about her. Like you can't be all together all the time. That's what she's been given.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a sweetheart, I'm Italian, I'm nice, I'm sweet. But you're not, no, we all have
And
that.
something, I'm kind of scared for Choma, and the reason for that is, once again, I'll refer back to what I've seen about Choma over time on socials where I've been following her. I just stumbled on her Snapchat one of those years, and I just like her personality. And I must say that she's one of those people who is kind of wealthy, but they are not the typical Nigerian celebrity type that you see like
Yes,
the influence
yes,
all over. You will never
yes.
hear of any scandal about Chioma.
At
Even
all.
the scandal that Laura said, "Oh, you're not in the club." I literally went to go and dig into it. I didn't see shit. Like I didn't see anything. But if you notice, the other women in the group, I think aside Mariam, if you just go on the internet and just type for something, you will just see one thing
You
about
find
them.
things about them, yes.
Yeah. So I was
But
thinking that wow, I'm actually scared for Chioma because I know she's a very private person. Even the person she's
yeah,
dating, nobody knows. So I was
yeah,
thinking like, is this girl really ready to
for the
show? Because
show.
yeah, because the Real Housewives of Atlanta I follow, it's one of the housewives that her fellow cast divorced the husband. Not up to 1 month, she got engaged to the man. Posha,
The
Posha,
Nigerian, Portia Williams, to the Nigerian guy, the Benin guy, the Edo guy. That's the thing. That's what the show is about. Like for real,
yo,
it's dirty, messy. The mom, and then every season they always have like the person that is the villain, and then the person that is your sweetheart might be the villain next season. So
yeah,
it goes. So right now, the people that Laura might be the sweetheart next season. So
yeah.
it's always looking for a villain and everything.
Okay. I can see Peter as doing that. Okay. Adeze, I think there's an echo back from your audio, but I want to open the floor for you to speak now. So I don't know if you can reduce the volume of one of your gadgets. I don't know. Okay. Adeze, if you can use maybe an earpiece or a headphone that can reduce the echo back, because I can literally hear myself from your audio. All right. So please just go ahead and take care of that so I can add you. Meanwhile, let's give the floor to Trisha. Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Glory, and hi, Olanike.
Hello, hi Trisha.
Natisha, I have missed you so much. It's good to see you back on our live stream.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm back.
So, are you following the Real Housewives of Lagos?
Not so well, but I do watch a lot of episodes, and if I miss the episode, I normally catch up with you. I check on you. Yeah, what is happening and all that. So I don't really have much, but then yes, I can just say I do follow, because if I didn't see it, I always check up on you just to check what.
Like, I cannot do the target.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
So,
okay. So
did you follow up
did you
on
follow up
episode
on
7?
episode 7? Glory?
Yeah, did you follow up on episode 7?
Yes. And I
Okay.
also checked it on you as well. I wanted to hear like what the comments of other people, how you viewed it. You know, from watching it from the beginning, I want to agree with the first speaker to say okay, I liked Chioma, I still like her even now. Chioma is one character. She has a character, and she is not going to compromise her character, the person that she is. There is one thing that Laura that said that I agree. For once, I agreed with Laura when she said maybe Chioma, she even waits and calls someone and say, "Are they seated? Now I'm coming in." That is who she is. You understand? That is the only time where I agreed with Laura since this thing started, and I don't blame her for that. That is who she is. And Chioma has a good aura. She's got character. I like her character. And she's a very humble somebody. She's not perfect. We are not expecting her to be perfect or anyone, but then I like what she is. She is content on what she is. But the issue of episode 7, where they got it on arrived 5 hours after, and they got an invitation on time, I assume, and she knew that that is going to happen. And when she called Maryam to apologize, I feel that knowing that she's going to be more than an hour late, she was supposed to extend her apology also to other attendees who are there. What on a call. Then after that, when on arrival, I liked her entrance because she showed the extent of her apology by bringing something to say, "This is how sorry I am." And they were still humble, both of them, herself and Caroline. They were humble. They did not try to defend or anything. Two,
Yeah.
I like the lady who addressed them. Is it Ioba? I normally mix the names.
Iyabo.
Is it Ioba? Iyabo, yes. Iyabo addressed them. I like her approach. She made
Yeah.
a blanket approach when everybody was now relaxed, and then she attacked. She went straight to Chioma to say, "Chioma, and you normally do this very often." And I liked it as well because she did not say "and Caroline," because Caroline is not also her reflex is something that she does every now and then. But then the other lady who was in a yellow dress, I forgot her name, the yellow dress. I think maybe the reason why she did not say all the things that she said, maybe we need to justify her as well. It's because already Iyabo already spoke. I cannot speak the same thing, but she could have just said in agreement or in support of what she is saying. I fully agree with her. It's just that I cannot repeat it. And we also spoke about it before you came. I support what she is saying, but yes, apology accepted. So Laura was right to be surprised that now her friend is now
Yeah.
acting as if things are okay and all that. That was right. Because then this one is acting, she is changing. But then what can we do? That's who she is maybe as well. You see? But as everything went on, and after that, Laura started sending messages. Laura has a problem, and it's a serious one. If that is who she is, even out of the housewives, then there's a serious problem. Because to be honest, I was shocked to see that Laura is married. I never thought that someone of her character can be married. Not that I look down on her, but then I thought the way she is so her character loud and fights anything and all that, I thought, yo, maybe she's just free. That's why she just doesn't care. But she fights each and every little thing that she doesn't want peace. That is my view from what I see. Yes, as I said, it doesn't mean that she's always out of order. Like I said, for once since it started, I agreed with her when she said, "Hi, Chioma." Maybe she waits and asks somebody. is not actually what happens, but in the manner that she is behaving, Chioma, it will give people the impression that maybe she wants to make sure that everybody's seated and now waiting for her. That is the impression that the paint that she has painted about herself, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, on that one I agree with her. But hey, Laura is a problem, and she wants to. I think Chioma is a threat to her. Chioma is doing something that she wanted, because Chioma is like, I can say, to me, it's like a spotlight of the Real Housewives of Lagos. She's standing there, and you will notice her. You will know about her. You can be in South Africa or wherever, but you will know about her. You will be interested. Beautiful, humble, and all that, and all her things. She's just this woman. So I think Laura is what she thought she would be when she comes in. She thought she would be the spotlight of everything. Now, anything that is going to tamper with her place, she is going to just fight it in whatever way, or try to expose it in a negative way, like she was doing with Caroline. Was it necessary for them to talk all those things they were talking? Because as ladies, we need to protect each other as well. As much as we fight, but there are fights that remain in archives. I don't need to really expose, like, I did this with whoever. You saw me glory when I was in hiding. I was in a compromised situation. Why must you say it in the open when we fight about bread? You understand? That's one thing I don't like about us women. You saw me in a compromised situation. I was wearing glasses and a hoodie, hiding myself. But then why must you take it out when we fight about electricity? You get that? It's really not necessary. We need to protect ourselves, thinking that this is a national TV and we are mothers. All of us. We have children. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Patricia. There was something you mentioned. I'm just going to buttress on that. So, when you said that Laura thinks, Chioma would be what she is. Like, there was a statement that Laura made. I can't remember if it was in episode 3, when she was saying that Chioma is acting like she's classy, something like that. That Chioma is nothing. I'll give an example. So, back in the day, I had this very good friend, my bestie. So we used to be together. So at home, we'll play, we'll make jokes, that kind of thing. Ladies, when you are at home, you let your hair down, you're going crazy, just doing some weird, nerdy stuff. But when we now go out for maybe go to party and stuff like that, this is who I am. Yeah, when I go out, indoors, I could be all over the place, playful. But the moment I step out, I am very, very put together. I'm very conscious of my environment. And even my siblings, sometimes they think I'm acting up, or they think you are forming classy. That's what they will say. My older sister, she will always say, "Why are you forming for me?" I'm like, "What am I doing?" You see that refinement, all that classy thing. You across my leg, and I'm just holding my glass of champagne, and I'm like this. So there was one of those days, my friend was like, "What's this one? Why are you forming?" I'm like, "What?" Do you get? So she made the same kind of statement that Laura made, that, "Oh, when we go out, you switch up and you act all classy. When we are at home, you are very, very playful and free." And I'm like, "But what do you expect? Am I supposed to be as scattered the way I am indoors? I should be scattered that way outside." No, it can never be the same way. So why am I bringing this as an example? I feel like back in the day, when Laura probably had knowledge of Chioma as a basic female, maybe Chioma was fresh out of school, maybe Chioma was not very put together like now. Maybe she was still kind of expecting that Chioma would still be like that till now. But then she also forgets that people tend to go through some stages in life. There are some people that actually go to school of etiquette. Yeah,
Finishing school.
yeah, finishing school. I have a friend that actually went to finishing school to learn how to eat with fork and knife because of the kind of job that she wanted to take on. I think she's working with all these elite kind of people. So she literally went to a finishing school to learn how to speak, to learn how to walk. And it will shock you that as a female, there's so many things that you don't know if you've not gone to finishing school. So the way Chioma carries herself, she looks like one person that actually went to finishing school. You will see the way she eats at the dine. Whenever they show anything they are eating, you will know that this person kind of went to finishing school. Or she doesn't necessarily have to have gone, she probably learned it. So probably Laura is expecting that, okay, the same Chioma that I probably knew back then, she should still be the same way. But then I feel like that's wrong because
But
people actually change.
personally,
Yeah, true, true, true.
personally, I also feel there's probably underlying intention. Probably Laura used to wear her hair, maybe shop with her, and now she's with Cuckoo's hair. There could be that factor also. So many things are
Yeah.
behind this. And remember, it's a show. Producers are working sleeplessly to give us a show. So that text message could have been a producer calling Laura. Are you not upset with what happened last night? Send them a text. Something like, yeah, personally, I look at the show with the eye of a producer. Maybe because I watch a lot of this is the right emotions. Everybody's upset, everybody's angry. I'm team this person, I'm team this person, you have your stance and all that. But these instigations are really majorly done by producers anyway. So
And I totally agree with you, Olanike. I mean, you got that one spot on. Listen, shows like these, they thrive on the emotional investment of the viewers. If the viewers are not disinvested, the show will not get its traffic and they will not make
yeah,
their money. Because these ladies are not on the show for free. I mean, if you see their net worth, if you see their class, their connection, you will know that they are being paid millions to be on
yes.
this show. I'm telling you. I mean, look at the likes of Tiannah. Tiannah is money herself. Look at the likes of Chioma. Have you seen what she wears? It's designers all through. The kind of things that Chioma
She
wears.
was
And
partying with
I
them
think,
Jamie Foxx last week. She was partying with them Jamie Foxx in Miami or somewhere
yeah, I
last week, and
saw that. Yeah.
Serena Williams and all the rest of it.
Yes. So the
Everybody,
producers, just like you said, they need that traffic, and the traffic can only be drawn from the emotional reactions of the viewers, the sentiments. That's why I said it's so similar to Big Brother Nigeria. If people are not sentimental about the events of the show, they will not be looking forward to watching, and they will not even be standing. And remember, Showmax is a subscription. So you pay to watch it. So those who are already emotionally invested, oh, Laura is my fave, Choma is my fave, they are paying a subscription
to
to
watch
watch the
them.
show. Yeah. So let me just quickly allow Free to share with us her own thoughts. Hi, Free.
Hi, Glory. How you doing?
Hola. Free was sending messages like, Gloria, are you seeing this drama? At that point, the time I was filming. I said, Free, hold on, friend, please finish filming.
Oh my God, I was just baffled. Like, I was baffled that time. Hello,
Now we
everybody.
can
I can
hear
see
you.
your
Go
names.
ahead.
Lucretia, hello. Hello, Ola. After
Hello.
watching the episode yesterday, I think I had not seen it to the end. When I went on Instagram, I was seeing all those clips. I was like, what the hell? I was shocked with all the drama that was going on. And one thing I kept asking myself was, is this really how Laura is in real life, or she's acting a script? That was the only thing that was just pondering on my head. Like, is this really how this girl is? If this is how she really is, how do her friends cope with her? Because I can't imagine having such a person as a friend. She's so, I don't know, I don't want to use any derogatory word, but I was just imagining, like, how do her friends even cope with this girl? She's not okay. And one thing about Laura is that she's used, from the way I'm seeing her, from my own perspective, it seems like she's always used to being that center of attraction. Like, whenever she goes out to her friends, she's always the center of attention. People are always hyping her. People are always looking at her as the, head bitch in charge and all of that. So it's kind of paining her now that, okay, that attention, that attention is shifting to Chioma. It's as if she has a problem personally with Choma. Everything is Choma, Choma. Choma is living rent free in Laura's head. Like, she has created a mansion, furnished the whole mansion, and Choma is just, she's just living there. And I feel like one of the reasons why she's still acting this way towards Choma is from that episode one. Was it episode 1 or 2 when this girl Choma said, "Oh, she's a good hair client." I don't know if it's episode 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I feel like since that point, Laura just, as in, that thing really pinned her to her bone marrow. Like, every opportunity she gets, she wants to lash at Chioma. She wants to lash out at her. She wants to just show her clothes. And the funny thing is, I like how Chioma is just handling her. She's not really giving her that energy. She's not matching back her energy. And it's funny because she keeps saying, "Oh, she does not care. She does not care." But it's obvious you care. If you don't care, the girl will not be living rent free in your head. If you don't care, you won't be talking about her. In every sentence you make, you must add a name. So it's just somehow, I don't know how our friends cope, and I don't know if that's how she is real life, but she really needs to stop. And then I was asking myself, like, did they force Laura to be on this show? That was another thing I was asking myself, because she's a bad vibe. Let me just use that word. She's a bad vibe. She
What did
goes
I
out with
see
the
her
ladies.
there?
I'm telling you, I don't know if they give her a script to add, or that's how she really is. That's why I'm confused. You go out with the ladies, all she's doing is complaining. She's nagging. Oh, I'm not feeling the people here. Oh, I'm not feeling the crowd. Oh, I don't like this. So why did you come out? Imagine going out with your friends and one particular friend is always nagging all the time. It gets exhausting. Like, can you just stop this? Grow up. I just hope this is not how she really is. Like, the part that even pissed me off the most was when she now used that napkin to cover her face. I was like, what's all this? What is all this? Can you just sit in your house? It's not by force to come. And if she already knew, there's no way that she told me that she did not know the ladies that were going to be on that show. She would have told the producers that, see, I'm not cool with this person, I'm not cool with that person, I don't get along with this person. I can exclude Chioma because in her head she felt they were friends until Chioma cleared her. But she knew that Caroline was going to be there. She would have told the producer that, see, I don't get along well with this girl. I have a personal beef with her, or my sister has a beef with her, and we are going to clash. Let me just stay out of it. Than you taking the contract, you're coming on the show. I know that, yeah, people are saying she's the one carrying the show now with all that drama, but it's becoming annoying and toxic. When you overdo things, it becomes very annoying. And then you're always whining. You don't want to be here. You're not feeling the crowd. Why don't you just sit in your house? It's really, really annoying. And then as for Chioma, her lateness is no more cute anymore. Before, she used to arrive fashionably late and make a statement, but it's not cute anymore. It's becoming very, very disrespectful. How would people be waiting for you for 4 5 hours? Me, I won't do it though. Contract or no contract. Like,
Yeah, I'm
don't
not
I have
busy.
things to do? 4 to 5 hours, they'll just sit down and be waiting for you, and you're just there trying to make a grand entrance. I get that, yeah, like half the time she wants to always make sure, oh, everybody is seated. It's just like what Laura said, but Laura said it in a malicious way. That Chioma is always like, oh, are they seated now? Okay, is everybody there? But Laura just said it in a petty and malicious way. But I actually feel that's what Chioma does. Like, she wants to make an entrance, and you're overdoing it at this point. Why will people be waiting for you that long? As in, it's just crazy. I think the producers, they need to caution her or that or something. And then Caroline made a statement about them giving them different times. I think it was when they went to Abuja or so at the airport that they told her so time. Then they told some other ladies so time. And I was thinking, like, did they purposely do that just to create a rift? That was what I was just thinking. Like, did they purposely do that to create a rift? Because if you really look at it, the content of Real Housewives is always drama. There's not a lot of like content. There's always, oh, you have to look for one drama. That's why they're always going out. People might be wondering, like, oh, why they're always going to each other's houses today. Like, when they wrap up an event, another person will say, oh, I'll host you next week. After next week, another
Yeah,
person will say, I'll host you. That's what the show is about, because it's from
that
those
can be busy.
occasions, those events that they set up. That's how they bring out the dramatic factor. And maybe the producers, they just purposely did that just to create a rift, you understand? So at least people will still have something to talk about. Because if they had all gone to the same Abuja at the same time, they all arrived at the airport at the same time, there will not be any drama. Everybody will go there and they'll just be there chilling. There won't be a lot for people to talk about. So I just feel like that part, they just deliberately did it, to just create some spice on the show. And then for Caroline, I really like Caroline, but I just don't like the fact that she went dirty on Laura yesterday. I really like her. Like, I don't know why the ladies, they don't like her. What was her name? Toyin and Laura. But Laura is mainly focused on Chioma. Not really. I know she does not like Caroline, but her main focus is Chioma. Just that Chioma is not matching her energy. If she's coming to act Raz and all of that, Chioma is just avoiding her like a plague. And I like what Chioma did during the dinner, like when she said Laura is obviously looking for attention. Honestly, that's what me I would do. I'm not going to sit there. If we're gathered somewhere, sorry, and you're giving attitude out of everybody there, you are acting off, you want the attention to be on you, I will not notice you. I'm noticing you, but I will never acknowledge that I'm noticing you. I will just act as if you're not existing. I'm telling you, when you are done whining and acting up, you just get back to normal. You go back to default settings. What rubbish is that? It's very, very, very annoying. And then she came in bearing gifts, and Maryam, I knew that when they just arrived, Maryam will not be able to say anything. Yeah, I know say all those ones. It's just initial gra that she was saying, oh, she's angry. Without her bringing flowers, glory, she wouldn't have done or said shit. Don't worry. She won't. She's just saying, I love flowers. You won't do shit, auntie. Don't worry yourself. Like
Yeah,
even she
free,
too. She kept
free.
them waiting.
Sorry, Free. Sorry. Before you continue, I just want to quickly chip in something. You made a very valid point about the possibility of these women being given different times. I think it's possible because if you all recall, yesterday when Laura was speaking at the dining table, she said, why would they come late to this lunch that has turned dinner? So
Yeah.
last week when Mariam was inviting them, she said dinner, right? So I
Yes.
agree with you. I think there's a possibility that along the line there was a change that it should be launched.
They're
And
giving
No,
then
them different times
no, they
deliberately.
got
because that was
invite.
all I mentioned. Now, sorry,
They got invite. They got invites that said 1 o'clock. They got
1 o'clock,
invites. Yes, that said
1
1 p.m.
p.m.
1 a.m. Yes, 1 a.m.
But
Because
Sorry, 1 p.m.
Caroline
rather.
said they gave her a different time. In one of the
yeah, because
episodes, she
last
said they gave her
week,
a
Not
different
for
time.
this one, not for this particular, for the Abuja trip.
Abuja,
I
yes,
felt that
that's what I'm
was
talking
like,
about.
yes, for the Abuja
Yes.
trip, she got a different time. She herself and Chioma, they got a different time. And
yeah.
that to me was produced by the was producer. They were
No,
messing with.
I'm talking about yesterday's one when they
Yes,
were all
they
waiting.
got an invite.
What's
They
the
got an invite
possibility
that
that the
said
producers did not
1
give
p.m.
them a different time after Miriam
Yeah,
gave
No,
them
that's
gave
why
them
they
a
were
particular time?
apologizing. Yesterday they messed up. That one was not producer anything. That one, Caroline went to show Tony, please look at the time I got. This is it, this is it. But this one,
mm,
they knew they had messed up. That yesterday's one
yeah.
was
Yeah,
they
So they
but
deliberately went late
why I
then.
said that is that could it be that Laura specifically got an information that it was launched? If you check back on that episode, check back on the episode, you see what she was saying is that this launch turned dinner. She made mention of that, and at that point I was taken aback, like no, but this is supposed to be a dinner.
And in
So that's
Laura's
what I'm
house, sorry,
wondering.
in Miriam's house, Iyabo and Tony, they were the first ones to arrive. But I was surprised when Miriam now said Laura
Yeah.
was the first one to arrive. So I was
Mm,
confused, like I don't get it. So is it that there's a
mm.
time clashing going on like backstage and
it
nobody
could be
knows
the
about? Who
editing.
knows?
It could be the
Or
There's a
the
editing.
possibility
editing.
that they might be giving them different times. The producers might be giving them different times. Like there's every possibility because
Yesterday's
if you look at it at the end of the day, they want drama. They want the show to sell. If there's no drama, people will not be interested. If it's just going smoothly, you go out, you hang out, go to your house, people will not be interested. In as much as okay,
Mm.
everybody talk against toxicity, I just feel like people somehow they still enjoy seeing drama and seeing dramatic people, and that's why people can come out now and say, oh, they like Laura. Like, what's there to like about her? She's really nasty. I don't know how her friends cope. She's really, really nasty. And then what even
she's
annoys
not
me,
nasty
she
to her
was in
friends
Miriam's
though. She's
house.
nasty to
She was in
people that are
Miriam's
not her
house.
friends.
She didn't say anything. I was discussing this with my friend, and she was like, oh, she didn't say anything because it's Miriam's house. She wanted to respect that fact. I said, no, she didn't say anything because she's a coward. Iyabo said something, right? And that's one thing Iyabo did I really commend her for. She said it in front of them that, see, I'm not okay with this. You understand? You guys are always coming late, especially Choma. Please, it's not nice. You understand? And I apologize. But Laura was there whining, covering her face with napkin. She didn't say anything. Only for you to go to your house, you're now sending long WhatsApp messages. Why did she not say it in front of them? If she's boss woman, I'll be waiting, I'll call
Sorry,
her.
can I
Why
chip
did she
in
not say it in
something with
front of
the
them?
Free,
And she was
sorry,
saying
hold
she was
on. Let's
tipsy.
hear from Olanike and
So I want to
Nutrition
chip
quickly.
in there. We are all different human beings, and our emotional intelligence is different. We all react emotionally in a different way. We don't sometimes. Okay, she already knows she has issues with Chioma. So if she had chipped in anything there, what do you think would have happened at that dinner?
But what issues did
Okay.
she have with Chioma
Knowing
aside
how
from
Laura is,
aside
what do
from
you
that
think
issue that they
that
had
what
in
do you think
episode
would have
1 or 2?
happened? Knowing how, and she was very upset anyway. And remember, Chioma was not really owning up that day, that yesterday. She wasn't
No,
really
she was. She was.
apologizing
No,
to
no,
him.
no.
No, she
No, she
wasn't.
was.
You might
Chioma
take
was
it, but personally,
apologizing.
someone like me, I'm not accepting her apology at all. Like
No, she was
Caroline was having
apologizing.
hold,
But the part I
wait,
didn't like was when
Caroline,
she was now.
Caroline felt real to me, but Chioma's no. And I'm sitting beside her. of course I'll be agitated. Everybody reacts differently. We are all not the same human being. So your own way of the way in which you choose to react to things might be. She might go home and then think about it, and maybe she's upset all the like. Can you imagine? I spent all that time waiting for people that I don't even care about, blah blah blah, and then maybe
If she does not care about them,
emotional
then
like
why is she on the
texting.
show with them?
That's
Everything is not about
that's the way
money.
you see it. That's
Yeah.
that's how you will handle situations like that.
I
That's
don't
how
see a
you
reason why
will.
I should
We
be
are
on a
all
show with
different.
somebody that I don't like, and all you're
Okay,
doing is making me
sorry.
mad.
That's why they signed the contract. All shows, nobody like you. You have like you
And
must
that's
have
what I'm
beef
saying. I
in
get
the
it. It's a show,
show.
it's a contract. What I'm saying is, okay, as you are now, are you going to
So you
accept a
want a show where
contract
everybody
to
will
be
just
on a
get
set with
along
somebody
and all.
that
That would
you
be a
do not
boring
like, you can't
show.
stand that
Like
person's guts?
Okay, let's quickly hear from Letitia. Letitia, let's hear from you, please. Adeze, I hope that your audio
Mhm.
is better now so that you come back after Letitia. So let's hear from
Yeah, it
Letitia.
should.
All right.
I think on the issue of the time, what she was raising, I don't see her name.
I'm like,
What she was raising, I think the issue of the time, for whatever inconvenience or changes that were made, I think the ladies were made aware of. Why am I saying that? Why were they all counting 5 hours? If there was a mistake of hours, somebody was going to say we are 2 hours late. The other one say you are 10 hours late. But they were all consistent with one time. So for whatever the changes that were made, whether it was lunch, then later changed to dinner, or it was changed to dinner because of the others were late. But whatever the time that they had, I think all the ladies had the same time and it was agreed on and they were all aware. That's why when they blamed the two latecomers, they spoke about one thing, that they are 5 hours late, all of them. That is from what I saw. So I take it that if there were changes, yes, maybe there were changes, but definitely they were agreed on. And also on the issue of like what we arguing on about characters and all that, I think when getting into the show, you get in not knowing how am I going to present myself or the kind of person that I am, more especially now we will be interacting closely to each other. And I think they sign up to everything. So once it starts, you must go with it until the last scene. That's me thinking. So you are stuck with me until the end of it, except for when you invite me and I don't come, then that is the good thing. You can avoid that. That's how you can avoid each other in a show like this one. That is how I understand the reality shows. And in the reality shows, the other thing, I think Laura, there's a little mistake if that is not who she is, if that is not the character that she is in real life. If Laura is not that person, I think there's a mistake that she's making. Laura must own herself, must own who she is. We don't know that person that is, but she must not act according to the actions of other people. She must not open up after an action of the other because the person will stay content, just like Chioma is doing. Chioma will stand by her action, by her whatever, and then she will start to overreact or to fight or whatever. Caroline will do the same thing, then she will start to overreact and do this and do that. You understand? So she was supposed to be herself, own herself. If she is a crazy woman, they were going to accept her and we were going to accept her and enjoy her with her craziness or with her whatever. Just like Chioma. There is some of us who like her even if she comes late. You understand? We like the lateness because she comes and she makes a picture, she draws a picture. You remember when she came with a big bouquet on her head and she was like, she is the host.
yeah,
Yes, she was like the Mrs. Party of the day. You get that? So that's what I'm trying to say, that Laura was not supposed to, because what Laura is doing, to be honest, ladies, she is not giving us something from her natural that we get from her. We are getting her reaction every time. Her reaction from other housemates, other ladies. You understand? So I think if she can just start giving us who she is and own whatever, and she mustn't compete with anyone. The fact that Chioma is so good with the etiquette and we like it, and she's a dresser and all that. But then if you are a girl who is a ghetto girl, be a ghetto girl and own it yourself. And people will enjoy you the way you are. You understand? We want that. We are thirsty for that. While we are seeing this classy woman, then we see this businesswoman, we see this ghetto girl, we see, or whatever, the girl or whoever. But then the fact is, you qualified to be in there, be yourself,
and own yourself. Don't act according to other people's things. Every time when she comments, 90% of her comments and her actions and her doings is based on other people. That is my view about Laura.
Okay, Glory, I would like to add something before I go
Yeah,
off. I
quickly.
forgot.
Sorry, Free. Let me just quickly. There's some very, very important comments that dropping. Sorry, you speak. Let me just quickly read them out.
Okay.
Esther Tinubu said it's not scripted, only edited. Take note. I think I agree with that to some extent, yes, because if it's scripted, I don't think the ladies will be doing whatever they're doing. I don't know. But the editing is obvious that some parts are merged with other parts to create some certain kind of
With a drama,
narrative. I don't
emotion.
know. So Dupa Miwade said all of them have crazy personality. Bringing them together would definitely inspire and brainstorm. True. Pius said for the lunch it was 1 p.m. Chioma said she had three important meetings. Caroline was waiting for Chioma. Okay. Um, Esther. Okay. Deborah said I agree. They'll get a lot of watch for next episode. I won't be surprised. Okay. Um, Sorry, hold on. Okay, yeah, this is the comment I was looking for. Caroline's apology was heartfelt more than Chioma. That's from Deborah. Um, okay, Dupe said Chioma's apology was subtly sarcastic. She's also becoming annoying. Guys, take note if you want to respond to any of these comments, just feel free to do so afterwards, all right? And let me see. Okay, Jessica Roberts. Hi. Jessica said, FYI, bringing a gift that's flowers wine to a dinner invitation in someone's home is common courtesy and practice in the UK, not necessarily an apology. Okay, so let me leave it at that. As I said, if you want to respond to any of the comments, please feel free. Esther Tinubu said, but she publicized the fact that she has no sense of urgency for anything. Don't you guys understand that? So Esther Tinubu, I really appreciate if you can join the virtual conversation. Remember, you don't have to use your video; you can use only your audio because there are some comments you've dropped, and I'm very much interested for you to elaborate on those comments. So please join. The link is right there. Okay, so Free, just please briefly share your what you want to say so that I can let Adele speak. Adele's audio I think is better now, so we can
Oh,
hear
okay.
from her.
I didn't like what Caroline did. Like towards the ending, when she brought up the whole pimp situation and all of that. I get that she and Laura had issues, and is it not funny that we never even knew that aside from the Linda issue that Caroline had with Laura, we never even knew that something like that happened between them, that there was a pimp situation. Nobody knew about that. So I didn't think it was necessary for Caroline to bring that up. Do you get the fact that Laura did not bring it up? It's just like when they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, just leave it at that. Like you can insult her about, okay, this is how you are, you don't need to bring out all those sensitive details because at the end of the day, Glory, most of them they do that. Chioma in particular, I have a gist from reliable source. So they all do these things. They do these things and they just come on social media. Yes, they're hardworking, they work hard, they have legit businesses. But trust me, they still mess around, they still fool around. Chioma particularly. So there's no need for you to be throwing shade. If Caroline wants to use that to throw shade, Laura, she's forgetting that Laura's sister is a blogger. She'll also bring out your own gists. So you don't need to open that can of worms. Just focus on okay, the issue at hand. You guys can bicker, go back and forth. But I didn't think it was necessary for her to go that petty and bring up all those things of them pimping her, all of that. I imagine how awkward it must have been for Laura's husband to sit there and hear all of that. And although he acted, oh yeah, it's fine, he just passed through it. I know that outside the cameras, they're going to have a serious conversation. They're going to talk about it, but he just played along because that's his wife. The camera is recording, so he'll just okay, he's understanding. But when the cameras are not there, they will have to talk about it because how are you a pimp or how are they pimping you? And I never got to know about this, so I didn't think it was necessary for Caroline to bring up that part. I just wanted to drop that there.
Yeah, thank you very much, Free. But I'm also going to drop something to be fair. So, there's this thing that if you want to get fairness from someone, you also have to be fair. If you want to play dirty, you also be dished out dirt on the platter. what's her name now? Choma is no, not Choma. Laura, remember, now based on what we're talking about, or what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas. So put it this way, Laura was in quotes present or aware that Choma had fought with someone in the nightclub. Still
Yeah.
unverified story because I don't know. I've been checking. I've not really gotten, you know, facts for that. But based on
Yeah.
what Laura said, so I felt like okay, they were having a Real Housewives of Lagos banter. Why did she have to bring that? And she brought that comment just because she was trying to prove that Choma is not as classy as she portrays herself. You
Yeah.
know, so if Caroline is dishing out the same energy to Laura, then I'm thinking, well, Laura, follow it. If you can do same to other ladies, then go ahead and also take it. And secondly, her emphasizing on the fact that Caroline is divorced. She made it look like Caroline had a virus when she was speaking with her husband.
Her
I took
husband,
offense.
yes, yes.
I
I
took
didn't like that
offense to
part
that.
too.
I took offense to that because it created the impression, the way she said it in Igbo language,
Misery
that oh,
likes
she's
company.
divorced, that kind of thing. So I felt like, no, that's wrong. You're making it look like women who are divorced, they are cursed or they have a virus or something like that. You can as well defend yourself to your husband, say what you want to say without saying the divorce like it's a derogatory
Gloria, I'd
statement.
like
But is
to
it not
chip in
funny that
something there.
everybody's focusing on Caroline's marriage? Even Toyin.
Okay,
Toyin
so
has
let
made
me
it
there's
frontal
something I want to
before.
chip in with regards to that. Let me say something. If you notice, nobody's following Caroline. Nobody. Amongst all of
Mhm.
them, even Chioma, they've unfollowed each
Mhm.
other.
Yeah,
And
I
remember
remember
Linda
telling you
Ikeji
that,
said
Glory,
in
that
her
I don't
post,
think Choma and
Sorry,
remember
Caroline are still
hold
friends.
on. Free, hold on. Let Olani
Remember,
finish, please.
Linda Ikeji said something that more things about that marriage issue will come out as episodes. She said she gave us that hint. And then I've been looking at Toyin Lawani's tweets. She's been saying how they're all pretending that things will unfold, that the ones that act like they're all together, things will unfold, and they're supposedly the bad one. So to me, I feel like there's more to come, more things will be revealed, more
Yeah.
things will know, because I feel there's underlining before the show itself, underlining tensions and underline, and the producers knew what they were doing when they picked certain characters and put them together to make the show. I feel more
Mm.
things will come out, more things will be in the open, because what happened between Caroline and Chioma, they're chummy, they're supposed to be chummy. Now it's just Caroline and so it's not Iyabo Ojo and Chioma are now
Choma.
besties.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you get?
Yeah.
Toyin Lawan is no
Yeah.
longer friend. You know, it's just
Mm.
weird the way the
Yeah.
dynamics are going. So I don't feel there's more to come,
Mm.
more things to talk about, and let's just brace up and wait and see what it
But
is.
also
Yeah.
the
And
way Caroline is not associating with them, that's the same way I noticed that Laura is also not associating with them. But that one is not much of a
yes,
surprise. She also didn't even
Mm.
attend the premiere. I think I might be wrong, but
because
I
she's a
think she
villain
didn't.
already. Like I'm hated, so I don't care. That's a different vibe. She wasn't there. She wasn't like fully in a clique already. But
Yeah.
Chioma and Caroline's friendship, it's already, you know, it's already weird.
Yeah. But I actually agree with what you all are saying, about more things to come. I don't really have any issues with that. But I feel like talking about someone's marital status, whether they are a single mother or whatever, I just feel like it's very much unfair.
It
And
is
I just
very
felt like
rude also.
it's mad disrespectful. I just felt like Laura should not have broached that conversation at all. Looking at the fact that the person she married also left a woman with kids for him. So she's
Oh
no saint
really?
in that regard. The person she married, he also has kids. He was married before.
Really? I didn't know this.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
and I'm telling you that most of these women, they have their own scandals as
I
well.
mean, the only
So
thing I've ever heard about Laura, like, was people saying that she's the one that feeds her husband, she's the breadwinner of
That's
the
the only
house.
thing.
Like,
That's the only part I hear like that
but
she's.
you see, nobody is going to know. They keep it under wraps and they come out and they're just, oh, missus. They have a ring on their finger. And if you're not married, you're not a missus. Oh, you are beneath them. You understand? And that
and
part where she was
that's
telling
why
her
I keep
husband,
pretend.
she wants
That's
my
why I keep
marriage to
pretend.
end. She wants my, like, what's that? And even
That's what I
Tony
keep
said when
saying
she
to
picked on
Laura.
Caroline at the Ilashe beach house, that, oh, what happened between you and your husband? She's forgetting that she had been married that many times. So just yesterday she was exposing that she went through emotional and physical abuse, all of that. And you know that nobody would like to throw that at your face publicly. So why are you inquiring about somebody else's marriage openly? So they've
Exactly.
been using that to taunt Caroline for a long time, and it's really not nice.
And the funny thing, if we even decide to go into the real life of some of these women on the show, trust me, it's a can of worms. I mean, Toyin, when she was doing her wedding, it was completely scandalous because the
Scandal.
young man that she got married to, and the gist was that he was still together with his wife, who has a child of two
Yes.
for
Yeah, I
him,
heard
and the
that.
Yes.
guy was working for him as a photographer, and then something happened. The gist out there was that
Like he
she
came
used
to Lagos to work
jazz
and
or
left his
something.
wife.
Do you
Yes.
Did
understand?
you even
So
hear when Caroline said it? When Caroline told Tony, when Tony was asking her in that truth or there, what happened between you and your husband? Then Caroline made a statement that if you want to talk about somebody else's marriage, how about we start from yours? She was
like that
saying
was
it
in
in
her
her confessionals,
confessional.
and it's
Yeah,
true. You're bringing up her own
yeah,
marriage. What about yours? You don't do that. And the funny thing is that you people are in the same category. Your own is that you're
yeah.
remarried. That's the only difference. And then you're asking her what happened in your previous marriage. The kind of vibe they're giving Caroline, basically, they're acting as if they've talked about her, like even without cameras being there, they know her gist or something, or they've heard things about her, and they kind of look down on her, and they're just in their heart. So they're like, oh, this girl, she's not all that, but she's coming on camera acting like she's all that. Imagine Laura telling her that she's sleeping with small boys in her husband's house. Maybe she might have
You
told
know that story, you know
Tony
that
that.
gist. You know that gist, right? There was this young man. All these
Bravo.
things are public knowledge, right? It's not
Yeah,
like a secret thing. We all know the whole thing that happened with Caroline and that guy. Davidos did a song about it. It's a
But she
yeah.
was
public
The
not with her
knowledge.
husband when she
guy.
was seeing the
So
guy, right? She wasn't with her husband anymore, from what I understand.
no, but apparently, okay. Let's leave that. Let's when
Okay,
the show.
let's
Let's see
give
if
the
we'll
floor
bring
to
more.
Adeze.
Yeah.
Adeze, thank you so much for being patient. Please grace us with your own perspective of the show, specifically episode 7. Adeze,
Hello, can you hear me?
Adeze, thank you so much for being so patient, right, darling? Please fire on.
You know, I was actually enjoying the whole everybody has an opinion, the rural side and the trauma side. Okay, for yesterday, I think trauma kind of stepped over the line. I didn't like the whole. I can't wait for it for 5 hours. I can't even wait for 1 hour, not to talk of five. I will go home. It's not bad belly, it's not beef, it's not I will go home. That's just the truth because it doesn't make sense. I can't leave all I have to do for the whole day, then
Yeah.
you're now working. Although she was still looking good, Sha, so I'll still forgive her. It was not my fault. I just love her. Then Rara, I don't understand her problem. Like, I think it's high time she just let go of this trauma thing because her statements in the confession, I mean, she was like, she thinks trauma in her own head thinks she's intimidated by what she wears. That's rubbish. That it doesn't make sense because probably the guy is just thinking, I want everybody to see what I'm wearing. I want them to see, oh, I look very good. I want them to say, oh God, I'm a showstopper and stuff. Probably she's not just even thinking about you. So why are you thinking about her? Like, why are you carrying her on your head? If I don't like you, nothing you do will freak me. That's just the thing. I might see you, hello, hi, it ends there. I go home, I don't need to think of that stupid girl, what will she wear tomorrow? Or which hair will she come out with? It's none of my business. But you going on and on and on and on is you want her attention and she's not giving it to you. That's where the bad vibe is coming. Like the way she's going, I'm even scared for her friends in real life. Like, if this is how you are on the show, I pray this is not how you are outside. Because basically, if she's not better than you, or if she's not richer than you can't jive together. That's the vibe I'm getting from her. Like, I have to be better than you in all ramification because what I see with her friends, she's either the one driving them out or taking them out. So I think that's what she wants. If you're better than her or probably richer, I think Maryam made a statement like that. about rosary, one thing. I didn't get it off well when she was complaining to Chioma. She said something, if your house is not big, Gabby, if you're she doesn't understand rosary, something like that. And it's not making sense. Like you're going on about the girl, someone is not noticing you. It's high time you end it. Otherwise, you will die of high BP. One day you see the girl maybe in London, you see this one, she want me to know that she's in London. Meanwhile, auntie is not thinking so. Then the whole chat at the end, wow, me, I enjoy the drama. If they want to spill, they should spill. That's why we're watching them. If they're not giving us drama, there's no need of us watching us. So they should spill. The pimping story should come out. We want to know who pimped who. Auntie Carol, what were you doing there that you saw Rora? Let's start from there. Is it true? Although me, I support you, Glory, when you say if you want to go dirty, I'm going to take it deep down because sometimes we all do this, so let me be the bigger person, don't roll in the mud. I beg, sometimes it's good to roll in the mud though. When we are done, we'll go and bath and come out classy again. That's how life is. So Rora is fond of, she thinks she's the only one that can throw shit. No, there are many people that can throw mud, shit, mess, everything. We'll bring it out. We'll rub ourselves. When we are done, we'll go back inside and we'll shower and we'll come out again. We're back to plastic again. So let's know who pimped who was the governor, you that you were there. Who did they pimp you for? We need to know every single thing that was happening. That's the reason why we're watching, because you can't tell me that you saw someone in a hotel room. You yourself, what were you doing there? And Royal rushing to go and tell her husband. That's not what I was thinking she'll come out and say, you too, you were there, blah, 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 blah. We need to know what's going on. And I think it's high time. I love Chioma, but I think I need someone to actually throw stone on her glass windows. Like, we need to know so many things, because when I started watching the show, I wasn't interested in maybe their scandal. But funny enough, it's getting interesting. And we need to know those people. Let's know the people that were hyping. Like, who did this and who did not do that? How many have slept with dog? We shall want to know. At least our young girls too, we see that it's not everything you see on IG. You start saying God went to, because you see some people watching those things, they're all like, these girls are like this, they're making money, they're this. And you that you're doing your normal 9 to 5, you start swearing for your life that all my life that I've been working, I can't be like this. No, we need to know that it's not just hard work, there's something behind. So if you still want to put your leg inside, you follow. This Carol husband issue, I'm getting tired of the whole story. Bad relationship happened. We broke up. Let the matter end. She's not going to be the first person to get divorced, and she's not going to be the last. Not how many months we're condemning what's the name of the lady that died due to violence. We're condemning that. Why didn't she leave? Now we've seen someone that left, so we're not saying all the divorce. What is that? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, because we are shaming. And if something happened, the same set of people will still come out and say, why didn't she leave? If she had left, she would still be alive. Now we've seen someone that have left. That is what we want to use and judge her. It doesn't make sense. But for me, I like the drama. Like, they should keep but Rora, I'm tired of her. The whole nonsense she did in the dining. If you cannot talk to me to my face, why are you coming to write about me behind me? That's just it. Iyabo was very, very mature. She just told them plain, I don't, and that's what I was expecting from Rora. Although Tony, that one, she's a coward. She will just talk. I'm real. I don't pretend. I don't know how to hide. When shit gets to shit, she's the first person that will run one side, and she will allow the drama, the pot of beans that she has cooked, she'll allow everybody to start eating from it. Because I just feel that most of them, no, it's the truth. I just feel that Roy is playing to the rubbish Tony is doing. You're instigating a fight that when it comes, and I don't blame Rora for saying that she's a bad friend, because you will push me to do something. I've done it, so that's when you're not telling me, no, Rora, you're wrong. Go, no, that's not fair. That's not fair. We're supposed to be friends. Even if you want to correct me, you can do that behind them, like, babe, come, this thing that you did, it doesn't make sense. Don't do it like this. Don't do it like this. But you push me to do drama, do ghetto. When me, if I'm looking for you for backup, you be like, girl, you're on your own. No, this thing doesn't make sense. Why are you doing it? And I just look at Raw like, why don't you want to have sense? It's time to know, let go of the fight, because the person you think you have, she doesn't have you. Like, she's pushing you. Like, and we have people like that in real life. They will push you when you get to the war front. They will leave you alone, and you will turn back and like, Nobody is behind me. It's not fair. Like from Tony, what she's doing to her is not fair.
That's how smart
I get
Iyabo
and
is. Anytime Toyin brings the gist, Iyabo is always changing the topic.
yeah, yeah, but always
That's
like,
very
and
good because okay,
I'm
let's
still going to
fight.
repeat
But
it. Tony is not the kind of friend like I Rora to me. Let's forget the whole nastiness. Rora look like someone that will be a good friend. Like she will fight for you. Like she will stand for you, even if you're wrong. Then probably at your back, she'll let you know that girl. But Tony, don't mind that she's right. Let's go. If we go, I will slap her. How would she talk to you like that? And when you get there, you see that Auntie has left you and she has joined gang with the person that you've gone to fight. That is not friendship. Me, I hope at the end of all those things they'll all have sense. Well, I love Caroline. This
the
episode
reunion
though.
will be mad. The reunion it will be
Yeah,
mad, and I'm
I
looking
can't even
forward to
wait.
who will
Like
host it.
I'm loving
I'm
it's not every
wondering
time
like
you
who will
do
host the reunion.
is it's not every time you have to do peace. Let's even trauma. It's time you drop your hand, let them know that come this class. To me to have madness somewhere because everybody I think will have a little bit of scoy. There's a limit someone will push you and you let the person know. And to forget the heel, forget the designer, don't go there. So I enjoyed what Caroline did, but it's too many. Oh yeah, I like when she said the auntie went to rent house in Banana Island and said she bought it. That's the kind of gist we love. Me, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, because the fake life. If she's fake, let us know that she's fake. Because these people are using those things to deceive a whole lot of people. Like you're working hard, and someone is coming. Why will you fake you bought a house just because you want to impress fans? That and you're
So
talking
it
about
was,
divorce. Your husband, uncle, he was
wait,
married and he left.
wait.
It's
That
still the
gist,
same circle, every one of them. Still the same circle. They're just let them start digging. Why we will keep enjoying the drama? That's just what me I think and feel.
thank you, Adeze. I just wanted to comment quickly that that gist about buying house in Banana Island, it wasn't actually Laura. You know, I can't remember the year. I think it was 2016 or 17. I can't remember that Linda Ikeji announced on a blog that she bought a house. I think it's for over 500 million. I mean, how much?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that that is the gist that Caroline is actually referring to because I don't think Laura knows that she bought a house in Banana Island. I don't think so. But at that time, I remember that that house, the way Laura carried that house to pull, Jesus Christ, it was like she was the one that actually bought the house. You know, and people
In the
really dragged
show,
that for it that time. People
in
dragged
the
that that
show, she's
time.
calling it in the show, she's calling it family house now. Like any small thing, I'm
But
hosting my friends in the family house. So I won't
But
blame her.
that confuses me because I'm like that confuses me a lot because I'm like, does Linda have a separate house for herself in Banana Island, and then did she buy a separate house for her family? Because when I heard that, I was confused. I was not like, okay, did Linda Katie buy another house, and then
And
that's
just to
where
add
her
that,
parents.
just to mention, I watched one. I think it was drive-through interview with Linda and Daddy Freeze, and when she was talking, there was one point she now said her family house in Banana Island. Then she now made statements. She now made reference to another house, like her own personal house. So I think she probably got another house, like for her family. That's like the family house. So it might be that
Maybe
Laura is
where
not
her
lying about
parents
that.
live or something.
It's yeah, like her parents are there. It might be that Laura is not lying about that. You understand? But she personally, I don't think she stays in Banana Island. I think that's where her sister maybe got another house for her family, maybe her parents and all of that. I don't know.
Banana
Then
Island.
she should host in her house. Why is she hosting in
Because Linda made reference to two separate houses. If I'm not mistaken, she was like, "Oh, her family house in Banana Island, then her own
Because
house,"
I know,
and
like
then
when
that
I
was it.
check in like Ikeji's page, sometimes like on Sundays they're always having lunch, like general lunch in the family house, and they're always going out. So the father, the mother, the brothers. So I'm always like, okay, is everybody living in this house? Like her brother, then her
Family
sister.
okay.
Yeah.
It's
I
possible.
think
It's
it's high
possible.
time that the producers of this show they invite Linda Ikeji to join the cast because
yes so
Deborah commented that Linda too has gist. Other people will dig her house. She's not on the show, but too much reference to her So if a stone is thrown at Laura, neither better get ready to get it. And it's true because courtesy of Laura, Laura has kind of automatically dragged Linda. And I'm looking forward to next episode because there's no way Caroline and Laura are going to drag each other that Linda's name will not come up again.
It will
And
now.
yeah.
It
And you know
will.
the crazy thing? You know the crazy thing? Forget the fact that these ladies on this show, they have their own hangout, their own kind of world. Linda also has her. I mean, when
Of
she got
course.
pregnant, after giving that motivational speech that single women should not be
Then
visiting
she got
baby mama
pregnant.
Aside
because
from that, I
she now
even heard
got
that they were
pregnant.
even doing money laundry through her, like horse
Yeah,
shopping and the
yeah.
rest. They were passing money through her, blah blah blah. I've heard a lot of stuff about her. And there was one time that you were saying, Glory, that you don't know why Linda did not attend Laura's fashion show. And I was like,
Yeah.
were you really expecting her to attend? I didn't even think she was
She's
going
a
to
brand.
attend.
She won't be able to do that. They
She
can't
won't be
pay
able to
her.
do that because obviously she
They
knows
can't pay
the
her.
people on the show, Caroline, Chioma, and the rest. And these are people that she has already written about in her blog. So of course she wants to
It's
avoid
not
them. There's
even
no way she will
about that. It's
attend.
about she's a brand on her own, and Linda Ikeji is a brand, and Showmax is a brand. It's like conflict of
Yes.
interest. You can't
And
like
she'll
yeah,
want to
they have
like
to pay
charge if
her.
she's going to make any appearance. If she wants to like even charge them, you know.
Yeah, true. True, true. Okay, let me just quickly read some of the comments here. I don't know if you guys noticed, I was just laughing. I'm seeing some comments here. That's just very, very hilarious. Let me see. Um, where is this one? Okay, Fire said the speaker likes gist like me. I guess the person is referring to Ikeji. Um, okay, so Deborah said, yeah, imagine people that are saying that think they are better or have got to question our previous marriage because they got married. But there's some noise coming from someone's end. I mean, let me open it. Sorry. Oh, okay. The noise was coming from Adese's background. Okay, so I was reading Deborah's comment. She said previous marriage because they got married and still in their marriage. Yes. Let me see. Esther Tinubu said, guys, next episode, Carol lied on Chioma, and Chioma was just like, Carol, when did I say such? I don't know how many of you caught that part when they were giving
Yes,
us
I
snipers.
do.
I'm guessing
That's
that
I
that could be the reason that Chioma and Caroline's friendship went south. I don't know. What do you think?
You know, I
Let's start
I
with
told
think
you,
it
I
you.
told you
started
last
from
week that
there.
I
The genesis
noticed that
from there.
only Iyabo and Chioma are friends after the show. Caroline
Okay.
and Chioma, who were like besties on the show, they're not following each other. They've not even like, been together, spotted outside together. It's always Iyabo and Chioma. That was what I noticed, and I told you, and I was like, maybe something happened in the show that created
Mm,
issue. Like we've not gotten to that part. It's possible, or maybe it's this next episode that they have an issue. And the way Chioma is, she's the kind of person that she wants to avoid trouble. You understand? She does not want to insert herself inside drama. That's why she's always trying to avoid Laura. And then Laura was trying to shade her using the whole you fought in the club, blah blah blah. And I loved her response. She said, thank God you
mm.
know I fought in the club. So if you chat shit about me, I'm going to brush you. I was like, with which
Okay.
power?
Okay. Olanike, what do you think happened between those two?
I feel like lots of things that were said between them privately came out. A lot of they probably had conversations in private, and probably one of them spilled, and then related, and
Mm,
they decided to. And then I feel more things will still come out about Caroline. I feel more things will
mm.
still come out about Caroline. So let's see.
But you
Because
forget that
from
one
what
thing.
I've been
Yes, go
reading
ahead.
is that it's like they've been like Caroline right now is my favorite right
Me
now.
too.
However, I'm this kind of person is I don't like I like to watch. I'm not quick to like how like I'm very objective when I'm making I try not to make my decision or whatever based on emotions. I feel but I read in between the lines when all these other people are talking and I'm seeing that maybe she paints herself a certain way public image. She's like painting herself a certain way and she's something else. So I'm waiting to hear to know what that thing is. So I'm just waiting for other episodes to come out to know what it is she did. That's what I'm waiting for.
Mm.
When I
And
if she hasn't done anything and then I'm like fine, but I just want to know what it is she did. Why
mhm.
do you all like her so much? What is it she's doing behind the scene that she's painting herself like an angel in public and making you guys look bad. What it is. So I'm
Yeah.
waiting for that.
Okay. Latricia, you
I
wanted to say
wanted to
something?
I wanted to say, but equally so, as much as we say after the show, maybe Chioma and Caroline and whoever, maybe the friendship ended and all that. I just want to highlight something. We also need to know it's a general knowledge, this one. We also need to realize something about, I can say, celebrities, politicians, business people, these high people who the who's, let me put it that way. We need to understand something that in our eyes and on the social media, they can appear as if maybe they don't follow each other or they no longer this together, but you may find that they sit together. Even oppositional parties, let me tell you, I'm talking from something I know. Oppositional parties, they will fight on the TV, on the or whatever, when they manifest and the whatever, but behind closed doors, they sit and bring together and discuss the same country. You understand? Same as celebrities, they know what is the expectation of the people, of the viewers, and whatever. And sometimes they might end up going along. So we might think that this one is no longer going along with this one. Even Laura herself, you may find that the ladies by now, they made up and they are now fine together. They are not friends, but then they can talk to each other and holler each other. You understand? So we also need to watch that. We must not always fall into their thing. Yes, they are giving us the drama and all that. We agree. And I also wanted to say there was someone, Deborah made a comment about you said we must take note of that. So I've been waiting on the queue about the issue of the show. And she said something that you also asked when at the beginning of the show. You said, is there realness? I want to say, I agree with Deborah to say this thing is not scripted. Because if it's scripted and I'm using my name, that means they are putting that, whatever that they're scripting on me, then they have to pay me a lot because then it's coming to me. I have to face the public. Ne? So I want to agree, it's not scripted, but edited, yes. I can also say maybe sometimes guided or they are advanced sometimes maybe to come up with this or be maybe I don't know how they do it, but possibly that can be done. But scripted, I don't agree. But then if that is the case again, they are robbing us the juice, the real thing of the purpose. They are defeating the purpose because this is a reality show. We are expecting realness like USA glory. And when we talk of realness, we talk of the state of quality. You understand? Or the occurrence. Where we talk of actually the occurrence of the fact. You see, something that is not planned, something that just comes as something spontaneous. Let me put it that way. In the word of love, I would say something that is spontaneous. It just happens. That is what we want to see. Yes. Equally so, we also want the drama. It keeps us going. It keeps us talking like this. It is the drama that keeps us talking like this. So, but as for them being together or not being together, I can promise you, you will find that they did not follow each other because they have reasons, because they saw what happened. They know what we saw. They know how we commented on it. They have to unfollow each other so that they can give us this picture. I don't fall for it.
Yes,
if we live with them, we will know them. Yes.
Thank you very much, Letitia. Thank you very much. And based off of some of the things you said about these people probably following each other and then we not really knowing, there was something I noticed when the ladies were traveling to the airport, to South Africa, when they met at the airport. I was watching it on one of their snaps and I noticed that they were all so friendly. And at that point in time, I was guessing that they probably acted all they acted on the set, not knowing what would come out. And then that very same week or the next week, the episode one of the show dropped. And then I noticed that for every time an episode is aired, they watch it, you see that they are obsessed on Instagram or Twitter because they're actually surprised that what the output of the production is kind of contrary to all what they filmed, during
Loud, Larry.
production. Yeah. So I'm thinking that, okay, could it be that there are things that they did not think would have been added, or excluded? I'm speaking now based off on what I mean, Toyin's complaints last week that Showmax did this and that to the content. She actually said a lot of things and they removed it and then they did not add it. You know, they are trying to create a narrative.
Let
And
me chip
then
in
for
there,
this,
Glory.
sorry, please, let me finish. And so this week again, the same thing is happening. I'm seeing from the beginning of the episode 7, a lot of things are happening, and it's like there's conflicting information as well. It seems like the way they edited it, you know, maybe things that should be brought forward are taken backwards or removed, you know. So referring that now to if they're whether they're following each other or not, I don't know. I can't really say that it could be that it's because they are beating, you know, each other. Because the truth is, in this celebrity world, there are so many of them that don't even really follow each other like that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, Free, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I would like to say that when it comes to the show, the drama they act, I know that yes, this shows they are scripted to an extent, and then it's real to an extent. I can buy all that, but you know what I don't buy is them going on Twitter and Instagram saying all that, doing especially making all those complaints. When I saw them doing all that, I was like, nah, this is just promotion. This is just promotion. That's how I felt. I was like, nah, you can't tell me that they've not like seen clips of this program like after they finish editing. Maybe I might be wrong, but I feel like okay, they've seen things like maybe the producer sent it to them before releasing it to the public, and I feel like what they're doing on social media right now is just for publicity.
Should I
That's
answer
how I
that for
feel.
you? Okay, so watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, most of the time I got to know most of these things from RHOA. So most of the time, the day before we watch it, they send to the cast members, and they are
Thank
not
you.
allowed to talk about it until after it has heard to the public. That's how it rolls. That's why if you notice Sunday night when Atlanta is showing, everybody's tweeting because when you engage, the show trends and everybody knows it's airing, everybody wants to go and catch up. That's the promotion of it. However, you can they watch it a day before, they drop it a day before you watch it. So emotions are pent up. Some of these things are real. Like emotions are pent up, you're upset, you're like, I was with you yesterday, you never told me, and then you start reacting on social media. It's always like, you know.
So I have
However, like
something to
it's
add. Yeah,
Real Housewife is not scripted. However, it's produced.
yeah,
Like I
it's
told you,
edited,
for
of
instance,
course.
they
Yes,
work on
so
your emotions. They know. So producers will just tell you, what do you think about what this person did? Why don't you do this? Do you understand? So it's real, but
yeah,
it's sometimes things are produced. And like
But
if
is
you
that
watch
not
the other
yeah.
shows,
gaslighting though?
producers,
Yeah, I agree with you
what?
because the conversations, the things that these women say, it's leading. They are asking leading questions, right? So
And then
these
if
are
you notice,
questions
they
that
talk about
actually direct the
storylines.
sentiment.
Yes,
Yeah,
and each
the
cast
questions
will have a
direct the sentiment.
storyline. Each cast
Yes,
must have it. So sometimes some of these cast members go have to think about storylines they have to produce. So it's not
exactly.
scripted. However, their
Yeah.
real life situations are like they produce. That's why if you watch the other shows, you notice some people fake storylines like Kenya Moore's marriage and all that. They'll go and bring out some fake things and bring it them, but the public will find out, and then it becomes your storyline. You know that
Hmm.
kind.
Another thing that actually
Yeah,
baffles me is the
it is
fact that,
because
you know, when
what is surprising about this nowadays with reality shows, you never find a situation where my let me say my boss would call me, or a client would call me in the middle of the camera or whatever. It doesn't really happen, but like it happened, Miriam would call uh, 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 um, Caroline at the right time, or Chioma at the right time, and where she is going to bring up the gist. That is the part that I feel that maybe they are guided. That now Caroline is with Chioma,
They
you
set
can
up the
call.
scenes. Yes,
Yes, but
yes,
the inner things, the topics and all that, maybe they are
yes.
not. We can't confirm
That's
that
why
because I don't think.
yes, because
Yeah.
like it's a show first and foremost. So as a producer, I'm thinking, what content do I want to highlight this year? This season, what
Yes.
content am I going to highlight? So that's why if you notice the Iyabo, they say, okay, bring about the sexual abuse, women like this, like so those are deep, but it's just that unfortunately in Lagos, they don't dwell on these things a lot for me in terms of the real life situations. Sometimes I see in Lagos they focus more on the drama as against the like real life
Mm,
stories and situations. So they always look, okay, what's our focus this year? So who is going to
mm,
be instigating things, who is going to, so they think about it, who do you think has this, and sometimes some things happen impulsively on the show, and then it
Hmm.
works.
I actually agree with you, Olanike. There was something I want to say, but let me address that. I wish, just as you mentioned, that the producers would put more emphasis on showing those charitable acts and those pressing social issues. Like when Iyabo was talking about, sorry, Toyin was talking about the abuse. I really wish they gave her time during her confessionals to share a bit of her
I
story.
feel
Yeah,
experience.
I felt like they made that a passing conversation, a
Thank
very
you.
deep issue like that to be very light. I wasn't really
See,
impressed with that one. And even when Choma went to a charity thing, I really wish, other than focusing so much on the WhatsApp chat, they should have shown at least, and I'm hoping they do so in the next episode, but they should have shown what she really does. You
what
know, that
we be
charity
doing
thing, and at least give at least maybe 3 5 minutes to just that particular thing. It's something good. It's something people should learn from. But what I wanted to say is that based off of what you said that the ladies would be shown the episode a day before it airs from Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was making me wonder like, okay, so I watched the reunion they did last year, and it seems as though a lot of the things, it seems like the confessionals too are very much edited. Because when these ladies were being shown the things that they were saying about one another during the confessional, they went wild. There was a particular reunion I watched that somebody literally fought, dragged the other person's wig on the stage. The
and
other
that was
person,
Portia and Kenya. Yes, it was
yeah, the
Portia and
other
Kenya.
reunion I watched was virtual like this. So someone was so upset that she walked out on
And
the
that's
whole
Nene
thing.
Leakes.
Yeah, she left. Like she really did not want to join anymore. So it's making me wonder, like, could it be that even though they are shown the episode before it's released, it could be that they are not really shown everything. So maybe some of the clips that they are shown before the reunion are clips that are not even part of
No,
the
they
actual
show
episode.
them some of these clips before the reunion. I remember, okay, there was this season of Real Housewife. Nene Leakes was just shown. She saw the day before her best friend had betrayed her. They showed that clip of her best friend, the person that is supposed to be her chummy, betraying her. So the best friend was so anxious at the reunion, and the host was like going around. Everybody was tiptoeing, like, "Hey, Nini, how will she react? How will she react?" And then she went in there, and it became that particular thing. But the funny thing, she had known like weeks before, maybe her reaction might have been different, but she just found out the day before, and she didn't watch it when everybody was watching. She said she watched it at night, so she still chatted with that friend like that same day, and I was like, "Have you watched it? Have you watched this?" Asking her. So most of the time, is like some of them, the reactions they have at the reunion is really like, some of them they've watched, like they've gone to sit down. Like Portia always says, she watches everything and takes notes and everything, while some are not as prepared as the others. So
Yeah.
it depends. It
Yeah.
depends on what.
Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm just checking the time now. Oh my God, we've been here for the past 2 hours, talking about the Real Housewives of Lagos. I mean, I'm amazed at how invested we are. I wish they were paying us money for all this analysis and tips. I
Honestly.
really wish they were paying us something. I mean, everybody that has spoken today has actually given some very interesting gist, which I know by now people are going to go and be digging into, like, hey, what does Shama do outside being all classy and all that? But I am looking forward to episode 8. I want to know if that fight was going to be it's going to be a necessary fight. The throwing of the water, the bottles. I want to know what's going to happen. I'm sure everybody is also looking forward. So this is where we're going to end today's live stream. Sadly, yes, we're going to end today's conversation here. But I want to thank all of you for joining. Latricia, thank you so much. I know how busy you are. Seems like you're at work right now. Thanks for joining. Olanike, oh my God, your analysis has been really spot on. And thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
shedding more light, on
Thank
the style of the franchise. I'm hoping
you.
that a lot of people who have really gotten in their feelings over all of Laura's activities will now at least understand that it's a pattern from the franchise, right? Reality TV shows as well. So, Free, thank you so much for sharing your thoughtful perspective and giving us all that juicy gist. Adeze, thank you so much for bringing the drama in your analysis. Thank you so much. And you know what? Let me allow you all go and rest. Patricia, you want to say
I
something?
just wanted to say on something that you added about Chioma, that maybe they were supposed to also show us the people, that the charity and the whatevers. Yes, that would be more nice. But when I check Chioma, I always, when she gives, she says it's something that she's been doing from family life and all that. But she doesn't look like, those people who give, but then they don't want to expose the people that they are giving. They don't want to
Yeah.
boast about it. Let me put it that way. You see? So I think maybe the other reason, let's also maybe give it 50-50. There's a possibility that maybe it's her asking that I don't want to expose the people that I'm giving, that I am feeding Glory and Lutricia and Ola. You understand? So I think that could be the reason, because when I checked her out of interest of seeing the good things that she's doing, I never saw her putting it everywhere, who she gives and all that. But it is clear that she is giving from way back. Thank you. That's
Yeah.
all.
All right. Thank you so much, Latricia. That's a very, very important point you made. Thank you so much. I'm still reading comments, and Ebehi said Olanike was not right about some things. You see, that's why I kept on sharing the link, everybody would give their own opinion. If you have yours, you share. So we will do this again next week, probably on Real Housewives, probably on something else. But if anything comes up, we would definitely talk about it on this channel. Let me allow you all to. Thank you so much, Latricia. Thank you so much, Olanike. Do enjoy your weekend. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So, guys, really. Okay, thank you all so much. That was how I mistakenly removed myself from my own live stream. Imagine that. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining this conversation today. I just want to let you all know that, listen, there's a lot more videos coming on from this channel. For those of you that love Nigerian idols, dropping a video about it tomorrow. I am thinking the winner will be announced tomorrow. I don't know yet, but let's watch out for tomorrow's video. And Big Brother Naija Shine Your Eye reunion is officially going to begin on the 2nd of June. And there's a whole lot that we are going to be unpacking from the show, episode by episode, right? So we're going to get to see our fave housemates once again from the season 6 of that show. And I'm sure that there are a lot of expectations that everybody has. So I've been doing a lot of videos of late about what to expect, what not to expect. And also, there's also Big Brother Naija season 7 that is already around the corner as well. The auditions have also started. I have done videos giving hints on what to expect from new housemates that would want to participate on the show. So if you missed out on all of those videos, they're all there on my channel. Go ahead, catch up. And as usual, I encourage you to drop your own thoughts, your opinion, your perspective about all of those things we talked about on those videos in the comment section. All right. So that said, let me let you all go enjoy this rainy, cozy weather. I'm just going to go crawl up beneath the sheets here and sleep and rest. Okay. That said, do enjoy the rest of your weekend and have an amazing weekend. Bye. Hey, stop right here. Don't go anywhere. You are especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Glory Elijah, and this right here is Frankly Speaking with Glory. I am the girl with the tea. I give detailed analysis of reality TV shows like Big Brother Naija, like Nigerian Idols, like The Voice Nigeria. Basically any reality TV show that actually interests you, it automatically becomes my interest as well. I literally carry on from my head. I give detailed analysis, I give detailed reviews. I run commentaries also because I want us to have fun. I want us to catch cruise. I want us to, vibe to stuff like that. And reality TV shows are not the only kind of content that I put out on my channel. I also do movie reviews. So you see this Glory Elijah of a girl, she's a very, very boring sport. Guys, for real. I am super, super boring. However, whenever I feel like passing my time, just having my own fun, chilling, being in a zen mode, I catch up on movies, which I find very, very interesting or exciting. But also, guys, I love reviewing those annoying ones because, hey, we have to call them out. You cannot come and waste my data, you cannot come and waste my precious time watching some really annoying movies. And I also talk about trending social topics because, of course, this life has to be balanced, okay? It's not all about entertainment and fun all the time. We also need to talk about those serious issues that concerns me, that also concerns you as well. You're about to have a blast on this channel. I also share my life experiences from time to time. Yes, that is when people ask me to talk about it. But if people don't ask me to talk about it, sometimes I do not feel the need to talk about it. I like keeping my private things private. But once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, and as I told you before, you are in the right space. Trust me, you will be so addicted to this channel. People are going to be asking you, what's happening with you? Are you okay? And hey, don't forget to turn on post notification, all right? That is the best way for you to always receive alerts of my videos. So you see what I'm doing on my screen right now, just do it